Wellness channel. It is my Monday at 5:30 a.m. It is, I believe, the 1st of June. So white rabbits, white rabbits, white rabbits. So hi everybody, welcome in, and thank you so much for joining me on this Mystical Wellness channel. We talk about all things weird and wonderful. We get into the secret space programs, special access programs, time travel, stargates, cloning, disclosure, Project Oblivion. We talk about movies, USAPs in cinema, we talk about all the disclosure, the soft disclosure that is in the movies, the TV shows, and how we can use those to jog our memory. So I'm Anchorhaven. I am an experiencer, mystical wellness guide. I'm also the author and creator of and publisher of an artist of the Breakaway Oracle deck, which is launching in the next 2 weeks, hopefully. And you can get your copy at breakawayoracle.com. I am going to be taking the Breakaway Oracle cards with me to the BASES 2026 International Disclosure Conference, which is the 19th to the 21st of June. And I'm really excited now because I'm going to get to meet up with some soul families. I'm meeting up with my Atlantean brother, Sean Bond, and Isha. So I can't wait to see those guys. And I'm meeting up with my super soldier friend Heather, so we're going to be staying together, so it's going to be so cool, and so many other people. And Dr. Amir, he's my soul dragon family as well, so I get to meet up with Dr. Amir in person again, and so many great people, so it's going to be super, super cool. So yeah, the Breakaway Oracle is in production right now. It's at the printers and it should release in the next 2 weeks, so you can get your copy at the pre-sale price at the website right now. There's only 25 founder copies, and that might be it for the Breakaway Oracle. Who knows? You can get your founder copy right now, breakawayoracle.com, and this is a Oracle card deck that's designed for experiencers and Milabs to help you make sense of your memories, and it can be used as an educational resource, a meditation resource for memory mining, and also for divination as well. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for falling in. Terry B, Wizard Witkiss, Mr. Rainbow Flame. Good morning, guys. So White Kiss. What's White Kiss? I've never heard that before. Great panel discussion. Yep, thank you so much. Yep, so I did Michael Koff and I hosted an SSP Experiencer panel discussion the other day, and we had special guests, and we had the Wizard Witkiss, we had James, we had some lovely ladies, we had Christy Campbell CC33, who will actually be coming on my show tonight. I'll talk about that in a second. We have Missy Hill, and we had Tiffany Rumping from Call Sign Seraphim. So yeah, so Wizard White Kiss. Oh. That's a new one, Wizard White Kiss. That's so cool. I like that. Good morning, Kat in the chat. Good morning. Yeah, I'm on some random cheapo cola, so please send me donations to get my Pepsi Max. The mug today. Do. So it is my Monday. So this is the start of the week. It's Sunday for you guys over there in. So it's like 00:34 Eastern, 11:34 Central. They're the ones I know. Hey, Justina, how are you? Hey, Still. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yes, so do go check out the panel discussion that I did with some amazing super soldiers the other day, which has been picked up by Bases TV. So it will be getting a professional cut by Miles Johnston, and it will be going onto the Bases TV network. Woo! Yeah, so well done, everybody. I can't do Star Wars and Star Trek. So Cola, come on, suit up. I am a lot more Star Trek than I am Star Wars. I was raised on both. But for me, Star Trek was the future. That's everything. Star Wars is the past, as far as I'm concerned. That's the past. Star Trek is the future. But hey, I found it comforting, Star Trek. So I'm a major trekker. So the Orville was the best. Now I've only seen a little bit of the Orville. Yeah. I don't know if that's the best or not. Why is there a peach in the chat? You guys are so weird. So, yep, so it's the 1st of June, I believe, because I don't do dates and stuff for these days. I'm very timeless. So this is going to be a cracker-lacking month for us. We've got loads going on. This week, I've got a great lineup starting today, Monday, with Christy Campbell, CC33. And this is 7 o'clock Eastern. Christy is going to be bringing a lot of new information, hopefully. She sent me something about memories, about Octagon, and sharing pictures. So we're going to see how that goes. Tuesday, I've got 2 fantastic guests on. I've got Pink Bella Aloha, this is the first of 2 shows that Pink and I are doing. Pink Bella and I are doing this month. At the request of the dragons, might I add. Yeah, so the dragons are involved in scheduling my calendar now, which is very bizarre. I'm also going to have first-time guest Rogue Dragon, who's coming on for a dragon. Oh, that's so weird. Yes, I've got Rogue Dragon coming on after I talk to Pink Bella, who's also a dragon, and I'm a dragon. That's so cool. Yeah, so Rogue Dragon is a Maria Sweet, and she's going to be joining us on Tuesday. And then Friday, I have got Gina Virginia Casella promoting her conference, which is on Saturday, the 13th of June, and I will be talking. Have I written my presentation? I'm like 25% the way through. I'm having trouble. It's very triggering. I'm not too sure. I might go in a different direction. But yeah, I will be talking at the event on the 13th of June online conference. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Gina Virginia Casella/extras to have a look at the tickets. You do need a ticket. It is in Canadian dollars, so don't freak out. Yesterday, shout out to everybody. YouTube's pushing this out. Good morning. I'm Anchorhaven. This is the Mystical Wellness channel. We go super weird here, and you decide if you want to stay with us or not. You do need to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes if you want to get into the chat with us. And we have a very active chat over here at this time of the day. It gets pretty weird. So yeah, so I was watching a video yesterday that just popped up on my For You feed, whatever. And it was about an English couple going on a train in Canada. They were going from Toronto to Vancouver, I think. I'm not too sure on the particulars, but they're on this, and what they did is they were taking this train for like 5 days on the train, and they were going to do it in 4 different classes on the train. So they start off in economy, went to a berth, went to the next, and went up, right? So when they were in economy, it looked very familiar. And then they went into the dining hall, and I'm like, whoa, I know this room. I know this dining hall. I literally sat there in that dining hall. And it took me back to a dream I had a couple of weeks ago, which now I know clearly wasn't really a dream. It was memories trying to come through. But so I sent it out to a couple of friends of mine saying, have you seen these trains in Canada? Like, do they look like that anywhere else? Because I've not seen a dining car look like that anywhere else. So yeah, so that was a bit of a because I know I did spend a lot of time in Toronto growing up, in the special access programs. So that massive Monarch Dome that's under Toronto. What did you say about Beverly Rose? So Beverly Rose is in America. She's actually on a reservation right now. I mean, I'm trying to get her on, but I don't know if I can get her scheduled. There is a possibility she may be on Tuesday, but because she's kind of, on the res, she's a bit harder to schedule. But she is doing stuff with Miles. She was meeting with Miles 2 days ago, and I know she's got lots of recordings to do with Danny Henderson this week. So there's a possibility she could squeeze me into her schedule. But there's also a possibility, because she's in America, that she could do stuff with a couple of friends of mine. So I think that's more of a priority than coming on my little channel, but we will see. But yeah, Beverly Rhodes is an amazing lady. She's speaking at the Bases 2026, but she's zooming in because she's in America. Penny Bradley is also going to be doing another Zoom talk, which is awesome. I have reached out to Penny Bradley, but I don't think she's seen my messages. So I would like to get Penny Bradley on for a pre-Bases talk. Yes, let's take the drink. Let's have a drink first. Yeah. You were chilling in Greece already. So Mr. Rainbow Flame is in Belgium, which is super cool, right? Okay, catch you up on the chat. Yeah, so Beverly Rhodes is in America right now with some friends. She did respond to my email, which is great. She's a lovely lady. I have spoken to her on the phone in the past, when I was connecting with her and Miles last year before Bases. But when I got to Bases in December, I didn't really get a chance to talk to Beverly. because I was setting up the side podcast with Rob, so I didn't really get a chance to talk to her. I know Drago did, but I was, because I'm working at the event, so I volunteer and I try and keep busy at these things, because otherwise you're just sitting around. I've been plaiting my hair in the night, guys. This is why it looks like this. Plaiting my hair. It's still very, very hot here. Not as hot as it was last week. So how is everybody? How have you been? How is your energy? Let me know what's going on in your world. Oh, Rhodes, the Greek island. Well, I've also been to Rhodes, the Greek island. A couple of years back, my nephew was getting married and we all went out. The whole family went out. So that was really good. And we stayed, I stayed with one of my sisters in quite a budget resort, but it ended up being so perfect because it was right on the ocean and it was less people there, and we ended up having like the swimming pool to ourselves and things like that, and it was so good. And whereas my other sister, and it was her son was getting married, they were on a big fancy resort. All of the foreigners were there. All of them. So yeah, so we loved our little tiny hideaway. It was so good. The food wasn't amazing, but it was fine. Do you know what I mean? You're only paying so much money, you don't expect like the highest quality or whatever, but it's a great island. Yeah, yeah, it was lovely over there. And there was a statue right outside. I had like a little apartment. There was a statue right outside. Trying to think if it was Aphrodite. There's a lot for Aphrodite over there. Yeah. Still Cola says, Julia, Nikki's live. I was falling asleep too. Her voice is so calming. Is she live now? I thought she only did Saturdays. Is that now? I'm getting confused over there. Yeah, so Nikki Jacobs. Yeah, so she goes live on a Saturday. Oh, I don't know. I always thought it was the wrong day. I thought it was yesterday. Okay, I'm getting confused. But I don't do my Sunday morning, so I don't do late night Saturday. That's the only one that I have off. So when I finish here, then yeah, check in over there. That's cool. Yeah, her voice is very calming. She is super sweet. That's true. She did a great video with us. So everyone go and check the live tab for the Nikki Jacobs interview. Doesn't have that many views on it. I was quite surprised because that's a great interview. I'm in a cloudy Belgium, so you made me dream. I was there. Oh yeah. How bright is it in Rhodes in Greece? Oh my word, it was so bright. It's like that in Australia. It's like another level of brightness that you need to always have your sunnies on. Yeah. Here it's grey. It's got a white sky here. She's also a Spitfire. I love it. Yeah, Nikki Jacobs is an interesting lady. She's got a lot of recall, and we didn't get into her SSP that much this time, so we will do another one with her probably this month or June or July. So June is a tricky month for me now because I've got 2 conferences coming up, and I've got the launch of the breakawayoracle.com. So I'm actually working on quite a bit behind the scenes on my projects. So yeah, so there's a lot going on here. And I have a job interview in the next week or so. Yes. Yeah, I will get her on again soon. My priority for the next 2 weeks is to get on people who are, for the conferences, basically. So, yeah, so Gina Virginia Casella's coming back on Friday. We'll try and get Missy Hill back on as well. So people who, and Soma Arar, people who are speaking at the conferences, whether it's the Summer Days conference, which is online on the 13th, or it's the Bases conference. So I do have Maria Wheatley coming on next week. Maria Wheatley will be doing a pre-Bases show with us. I'll have to see who else is in the diary. So, but my diary is open towards the end of the month. So, Entertainment Extreme Network. Armando, how are you? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I've not chosen any cards. I did have some cards in mind. Let me just grab some cards. 1 second. Okay, so I have gone for the Gateway of Light. The reason I picked this one is because it's high vibrational, and I want to make sure that we are high vibing it, guys, because the energies have been all over the place. So, how is everybody feeling? I know there's been a lot of migraine activity going on. I've woke up feeling like I cracked a rib. on the left side. So I'm generally quite active in the night now. Don't know what's going on. Entertainment Network is doing well. So we did some great videos, so do go check out the Experiencer panel that I did. It's on my live tab. No, it's on my video tab because it was premiered, so we pre-recorded it. But it's also being it's also going on to the other channels. So please check out Christy Campbell, CC33. Go over there and give the video a like. Check out Missy Hill's channel, Galactic Earth Fusion. I'm not sure if she's put it out there yet. Check out Call Sign Seraphim. She's put that. Tiffany's put the video over there, so go and give it a like. Michael Koff will be releasing his in the next few days, I think, so do go check that out. James Wiswickers, I don't know if you're releasing the video at some point on your channel. Terry B's got migraines as the panel discussion was coming on. Okay, yeah, that's unusual. Network says my night in my bedroom still turning off when I do the CE5 app. Yes. Interesting. How's it going with your CE5? I definitely saw that there was some kind of ship just kind of coasting along. I mean, it could have been like something that was in orbit, but it was coasting along there. So I was kind of tracking it in the sky last night. Jerry says she's so likable, Christy Campbell. She's lovely. So she's coming on tonight. Christy and I will be doing a show together tonight, Monday. Wizardwicker says, I've had a headache this evening at the back of the head, base of the skull. Okay. That sounds like direct energy weapon. That's weird. So I'm just going to pull some collective cards so we can see what the messages, themes, and energies are this week. So we're heading into June. We do have the 6/6 portal coming up this week as well. So 6 is spiritual energy. What do we think, guys? What do we think? So any more messages? How we're being supported? So yeah, this is a great month for me because I get to connect with Sean Bond in person, and Sean Bond is one of my favorite people in the whole world. We have done at least 6 or 7 videos together, which are on mine and Sean's channel. So I think we've done at least 6, maybe. So do go check them out on my Anchorhaven Origin playlist. Oh, I'm loving this right now. I'm loving this right now. Okay. So this is the collective energy read. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Jerry. Rainbow Flame says, doing fine. I felt lightning strike the pulse coming into my system. Never felt that. Also saw plasma around the top of the church last evening. What is happening these days in Belgium is weird. Oh. So we're so lucky that we've got you over that side. So you can bring us energy reports from over there. So yeah, so you guys are, I think of it as we're all the priests and priestesses in our community. So if this was like 1,000 years ago, we'd all be working in temples and we would be literally like the main place that people would come. So we'd be holding that space. So let's see. C5 app, aliens, you can make contact with your starseed family. And don't forget, John Whitberg said, don't use the C5 protocols because it's like you're saying, yes, abduct me. I'm open to abduction. So please put some intention in place that you don't want to be abducted or whatever it is that you do or do not want. Where are you going to send me the video so I put it on? Yeah, I sent it to your email. Is it not on your email? I'll check that when I get off here. You might need to send me a reminder. I thought I sent it to your email. I just sent it to everybody in one go. So yeah, let me know if you didn't get it. Sprinkles, aka Shaylee. Shaylee is in the chat. Shaylee, not Shaylee. Shaylee. Okay, so you didn't see it. Okay, right. I'll double check. Maybe I got your email wrong or something. Okay, this is the energy report for this week for the collective. And it's the ancestral realms, karmic release, healing the lineage, boundaries. So as a collective in June, we're having a massive karmic reset. Okay, so this is what's going on. So it may be a bit heightened over the next few days as we start to process these kind of lessons learned. It's lessons learned kind of energy that's coming in as I talk about that. So it's like we know we've been through the ringer, but we're making the kind of clarity check on things right now. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to go through that again, or I'm happy I did this because of that, or whatever. There's a lot of purification that's coming in, and we're literally entering the chamber of the violet flame again. Karmic release, radical transformation. So we've got two cards about karma, two cards about karmic release. So when we think about karmic relationships, remember we're talking about the people around us that make us feel light, supported, and loved. And they're those karmic lessons in being loved, being, receiving support, receiving um there's a phrase, peace, love, and gratitude. Thank you. It's like one of short bonds, peace, love, and gratitude. So yeah, have a look at the people around you this week who are helping you to feel light, fun, laughter, sharing peace, love, and gratitude with those people, their lessons in receiving and being supported. Have a look at the people around you that feel heavier energy, that feel like they're draining you, taking the breath out of your body. They're those lessons in boundaries, okay? Boundaries. So it literally came up about boundaries. This has come up about radical transformation in the chamber of the violet flame. So I've got some work to do this week because I'm a violet flame keeper. So I will be sending violet flame from my multidimensional violet flame chakra. I'll be sending that out to top up all the chakras on the planet this week. There is a violet flame chakra which is here in the UK, which is in Leaf Hill in Surrey. And that's been kind of anchored here in this realm by Saint Germain. So those of us who have the violet flame chakra, which is an activation that I can do with you guys, it's a multi-dimensional gateway. So when I tune into this one, I open up a violet flame that has many flames within it. So it's a very different level. We call it the violet flame rescue flames. Yeah, so I'll be bringing those forward this week. So yeah, radical transformation. So just know that this week that the violet flame is available for you. And if you are doing that karmic relationship check, who makes you feel light? Get more of that. Who makes you feel heavy? Okay, whoa, I need to review my boundaries. I need to express my boundaries. I need to put that in place. Or I might even need to say goodbye to people at this point. Yeah. So there's going to be people that fall away to the wayside. I know this sounds bad when I talk about this kind of thing, but not everyone can go where you're going. And this is that check. Yeah, not everyone's going to be able to go where you're going. Not everyone can speak the language you are speaking. You are changing your vibration as we go forward this year, and you will naturally start to drop people. You will. It's a natural progression that you start to gravitate towards people who are on the same wavelength as you, and people who are not on the same wavelength will just start to fall away. They do. No harm to them, no harm to self or others, but your circles around you start to change. And this is why these communities are so important. As you move forward, the guidance coming from Gaia, from Mother, Father, God energy is star gathering. So your star family is coming towards you. Stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. So yeah, as we do this karmic lesson resonance check this week, you are getting more and more aligned with your star family. So just setting those intentions to connect in a positive way, in true benevolence, with no conflicting agendas. Yeah, there's a lot of purple energy coming in this week, and there is a lot of earth energy coming in this week. So this is perfect. This is where I roam, guys. This is where I am. So yeah, lots of purple energy, lots of grounded energy. Yeah, Dan says it's like a shedding of the skin, growing out of the old and into the new. Exactly. Yeah. So no one to drop here. So silly. Yeah. So you know what? It's like conversations change. So you'll notice that some people meet you in the conversation now, and other people just can't, and you start to have less and less of those low vibe disconnected conversations, and there might be people around you who are actually starting to meet you at the same level, and you're getting excited about it because they're talking about things that they've never spoken about before. But one thing we do want to do in June is we want to anchor in as much laughter as possible. Laughter technology, let's start to bring that in. I am a certified laughter yoga leader, so I do not need things to make me laugh. I try and laugh as much as I can, and I may even do some live Zooms. Okay, some live group Zooms for laughter yoga. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Probably after the conference. So Jerry says, bring us back, fix, please. Yes. Oh, yeah. So when we're getting taken, especially if you're in the special access programs, you're in active service, and they take you in your physical form, they make you mission ready as they take you. I've spoken to John Whitbag a lot about this. Because I mean, obviously, how I am now, I'm 5'1". You know, I'm quite round these days because I'm recovering from a foot surgery, so I'm not in peak physical form right now. But when I get taken, even if for like Nachtwaffen, they take you in your physical body. They put you through like a process to get you 5'10", you know, 55 kilo or whatever. They would make me mission ready again. But then when they bring you back, they demission you. not decommission. They demission you and put you back in your human ready body. And I keep saying, please, I'll go willingly if I can keep the mission ready body. Stop returning me in this body. No offense, body. I love you. But I know my body would be happier and healthier if it was 5'10" and 55 kilo rather than like double what I am right now. Okay. So just catching up. New name for Billy. Who's Billy? Okay, catching up on the chat. So my children come to me with information they're starting to get. Oh, that's great. So you've got crystal kids, rainbow kids. That's so awesome. Crystal rainbow kids. Sprinkle says, I love being fun size. I don't. Because I feel very big. Energetically, I'm very big, right? And there's versions of me that are tall and active and, you know, do not shrink to fit a reality you have outgrown. Already it says, Terry, that's great advice. Sprinkles is 5'1" too. There's quite a few of us in the chat here are 5'1". Even Tiffany's a little. Dan says, I'm going to start training again, ready for the new baby. Don't want to be a fat dad. You're going to have enough going on with all those children. Matty West, I've been in this body on mission work, so unfit. I had to run, fight, or flight, and I got 100 meters before I buffed. Dude, you are not unfit. You know, you're a young chap. But I get what you mean. If they put me on a mission in this body, I don't think I'd make it 10 meters. I really wouldn't. I've had to do a lot of training this year. Oh, I don't do pounds. I do kilos. I'm not very good with stones and pounds like they have out here as well. I do kilo. In India, they did kilo as well, so that's kind of cool. There's nothing wrong with being shorter. Well, as a short person who's had lifetimes as a tall person, potentially as a giant and an Elohim, I don't like it. I've never liked it, and I don't want to be short. Nothing against short people, just choosing troll size. So okay, I've just got a message from Sean Bond saying he wants to order a Breakaway Oracle deck. Thank you, Sean. I'm just going to put my Do Not Disturb on. So that's good. Yeah, so you can get your Breakaway Oracle deck at breakawayoracle.com. Let me just grab the deck. I'm not going to work with the deck. So this is the Breakaway Oracle. So this is the sample copy. So I did make a couple of small changes in the version that's gone to print, but this is the Breakaway Oracle. And I co-created this deck with John Whitbag. So we collaborated quite well on it, actually. It was really fun to do. And I'm still working on the guidebook, which will be, it's not in the box, which is why it's a nice slim box, because there's no guidebook in there. But there's 52 cards plus 2 information cards in here. And it covers programs and factions, off-world colonies, skill sets, limitations like targeting. It goes into that kind of thing as well. Plus there's a healing section, so it covers quite a bit, so you can get like a well-rounded idea of potentially energies and limitations that have been impacting your life without you realizing it, right? So obviously this is a niche deck and it's not for everybody. So please only buy the deck if you think that you're going to use the deck. So it's an information resource. It is also designed with activating images and energy to help you if you were doing meditation with the intention to bring forward memory. And it's designed as a divination deck. So there will be an aspect of pendulum alchemy with this as well. So it comes with a few bonuses. So you can download the PDF guidebook once that's ready. You'll be able to download some like a pendulum oracle chart. And there's a meditation that I will be recording that goes with this deck. So that's pretty exciting. But there's only 25 founder copies. I think there's about 18 or 17. There's probably 16 or 17 left now. But 25 founder copies, that is it for the Breakaway Oracle. I don't know if I'll ever make any more. I don't know if it'll be different if I do make more, because I might we might see how it works and things like that. So, but the way I work with it might be a little bit different to the way you work with it. You might just want to have a look at the pictures, or maybe you're not into cards and you want to wait for me and John to write a bigger extended book that might have the similar theme with the same images and that kind of thing. So it is pretty cool, yeah. So I've really enjoyed the process of creating this. And I found it very activating. I've had alters come back to me and stuff like that in the process of doing this. And I was actually talking to Drager Reed and I said, like, this for me, this has been triggering. And he's like, why would it be triggering? So because of the topics. So it's given me an opportunity to revisit all of these topics, like MK Ultra's in there. It talks about different types of skills that you were trained with, and one of them is occult practices, so it's like made me really have to think about these things and how it applies to me. So it has been pretty activating for me on some things, just writing it. So yeah, so this is the Breakaway Oracle. You can go to breakawayoracle.com if you want to pre-order your copy. So they're in production right now. So they will be getting shipped out. Hopefully by mid-June, they'll start to get shipped out. I will be taking some copies with me to the BASES 2026 International Disclosure Conference as an opportunity to pick up a Breakaway Oracle deck right there in BASES. You don't have to pay the shipping, right, if you're buying it at the conference with me. So just let me know and I will reserve a deck for you if you are coming to BASES. So you don't need to use the website to order those. I'll just reserve it and you can pay me when you're there. So yeah, or you can send me a bank transfer. That'd be welcome. So yeah, what else? Yeah, so that's exciting. So Sean Bond is coming over. Excuse me, Sean Bond's coming over. He's hopefully going to bring some artifacts. I'm just not sure how they're going to make it through customs here in the UK. Yeah, I really don't know. Schmeagle? Why does it say Schmeagle in the chat? I climb on everything. Can't wait to go through my aisle. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Kat. Shout out to everybody who's already purchased. The people who've done the pre-order purchases, guys, thank you so much, because it's helped me to pay for the printing costs. Because I'm printing in the UK on a limited run of just 25 copies. That is not cheap. So it's like there's hardly any profit in it at all. But if it goes well, if it's well received, then I potentially could do a bigger print run in like China. We can get like 500 copies for basically just a little bit more than what I paid for 25 copies. But yeah, that's a whole process. After I've done this one, I'm straight away going back into an Oracle deck that I've been designing a year ago. I already planned out a Mystical Wellness Oracle deck of some sorts. And so I'm going to go straight into that production on that one next, which is more for my healing people, for people who are into the Violet Flame and the healing side of work that I do. That Oracle is designed for that. So that's like a proper Oracle. So there's like 4 different decks rattling around in my brain. And now that I've gone through the process of designing this one, so I have created it. I've literally created it. I've written it. I've designed it. I've produced it. I've done everything up myself. But I've had John McBurg supporting me through it as well. So that's really good. That he can share his knowledge. And you can cuddle with animals better. That's nice. I would crawl in my dog's nest if I could. Is this if you're small? I don't know. I sit in speakers at raves. Wow. So nothing against people who are small, people who are little, nothing against that. I'm a small person. I'm short and round right now, and I don't like it. I don't. I miss being tall. I do. I'm pretty sure that I get taken into a body that's like a foot taller than this one at nighttime. So then I come back in this little body and I'm like, God, not this little body again. So somebody said to me a while ago, I was having a private healing session with a friend, and they said, "Oh, you used to be very tall," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." I said, "Well, they wanted to take you down a few pegs, so that's why they put you in this little body." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I wouldn't mind if I was light, but because I'm quite heavy right now, quite top heavy especially, um, it's not good for the body. Yeah, it's not good. It's hard work. Okay, Julia, that's amazing. All the hard work coming to fruition. Yes, Terry B, thank you so much. So this is the first time I've ever actually finished anything. My mind is just full ideas all the time. There's so much going on, but I've actually been able to almost finish a project. And I say almost because I'm still working on a few aspects of it, but I've got 2 weeks to finish it off. Yeah, that's a good point. So Sokola is saying, Shaylee, speakers, don't your ears ring and you can't hear till the next morning? Yeah, guys, I'm deaf, so please be careful with your ear protection. My family used to have a printers, so I used to sleep next to massive print machines and stuff. I used to sleep on like huge reams of paper going up to the ceiling, and I'm pretty sure that affected my hearing. But I've got otosclerosis, so I have a bone calcification that's gone on. When I was pregnant with my son 17 years ago, there's a giant Anunnaki aspect of me that is still alive. Yeah, there's a big Draco, female Draco aspect of me that's alive right now. I'm not even inches, I am centimeters. I don't really do centimeters for height. I'm just going to take my throat spray and try and numb my throat because it gets very humid. And then I have a throat issue. It's called Barrett's esophagus. Okay, yeah, so I do have one update to my schedule this week. I am going to be on Karen Holton TV on Sunday, and she's saying, what do you want? What do you want to talk about? So I sent her my bio. She's like, oh, we'll talk about your SSP, and I thought, oh, okay. I just kind of redesigned the bio so it was more focused on wellness or whatever. So then I sent her my Anchorhaven origins and all that weird stuff, and I saw Aussie Jake Bongzilla in the house. How's it going, legend? Oh, great to see you, Aussie Jake. How are you? Oh, it's always fun when Aussie Jake sweeps in from down under, and then he's gone. Before you know it, he's gone. Yeah. Hold on, Sprinkles. I think we're like 62 or 63 centimeters. Is that it? No, because a meter is 100 centimeters. So how tiny are you? 60 centimeters is like this big. It's like this. So yeah, I'm definitely not 60 centimeters. I'm 142 centimeters. I don't know feet. Good, I've been all right actually, thank you. Yeah, it's very, very hot here in the UK. It's getting better. And Sprinkles is a fairy. Yeah, it's getting better. So we're starting the week. We got some billionaire in the chat says 4.79 feet. No. That can't be right, surely. So I only know feet and inches that way. I work in kilos instead of pounds and ounces and all that. So I am a curious person. So I was born in 1975, and they literally, in my like first 20 years, they changed all the metrics. So I know them all. Right? I'm a bit like that. Some things are in this, some things are in that. So it's like if you're buying potatoes, then it used to be 5 pounds of potatoes, but now if you're buying other things, everything's in kilos. So yeah, so when I do height, it is feet and inches. When I do weight, it's in kilos. When I do the weather, it's in Fahrenheit, and everyone else around me is in centigrade. I just don't know. So I'm like this curious mix of Gen X where we know a bit of everything. So when we go to the supermarket, though, great tip for anybody who isn't already doing it, because please do. Here in the UK, they have to put the breakdown per 1,000 grams per kilo of like how much is 100 grams, how much does that cost out, and stuff like that. So say you're going to buy cheese and you're looking at all the prices and you think, oh, this looks like the cheapest cheese. No, you have to check the little tag on the shelf to really see how much is it per 100 grams. Then you'll see which is the cheapest cheese, and it's not always the one you expect it to be. So do go check that out. You are half and half. I am half and half for sure. Yeah. Shady Thumbelina. That's so funny. And yeah, so I cover a bit of everything. So it doesn't matter who I'm with. I'm never on the right metrics. But in India, they talk in kilos. So that's good. Because I fit in. I am very Indian and very Asian in some ways. So sometimes I fit in. Okay, Sprinkles are saying 154.94 centimeters. That's more like it. A meter and a half. Yeah. Being super tall, Kat says, is not easy either. Washing clothes, my giant family would be a gazillion loads. Yeah. My son, luckily, is about 5'10" already. So that's good. Because his dad was probably around 5'10", but his Indian granddad was over 6 feet. Now, my dad, like Irish man, was just regular, small, Rainbow Flame says yes. And in Canada, if you want to know how far a city from you, you expect miles or kilometers, but you get hours. Yes. Like I was looking at that train journey, and they were talking about it's 5 days on the train. They didn't say how far away it was. Sprinkles is 47.62 kilos. Okay, I wish I was 47 kilos. I'm well overweight right now. I really am, and because I've had the last year, so on the 8th of June 2025, I had a foot surgery, and it's taken me a year to be able to walk properly. I was talking to Sean about this morning. So because he's like, how's your pain? Well, how's your pain level? So no, my pain level is very less generally now, which is great, and it's less on both feet, even though I only had one of them operated on. So that shows how much the other foot was overcompensating. But also they were both just getting attacked as well, so now there's very little. It's like there's protection cuffs around both ankles right now, is how it feels. How measures in stone? Well, other guys will need to. I'm not saying how much I weigh in stone. Although I bought, probably 3 months ago, I bought scales to stand on, and I have not opened the box. Okay, I'm too scared. I'm too scared because I'm very heavy right now compared to what I should be. I just think of it as I'm double my supposed body weight of what is recommended. If you cut your wings, Sprinkles, you'll need to add pounds. Huh? It is. I'm not noticeable from here. You are beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you'll notice the camera's always at a certain level, just kind of cut off the rest of the body. um, Thanks to GPS, Rainbow, majority showing us the time first instead of how many miles to get to a place. Yeah, because here it's subjective when you're driving, because if I was to drive down to London, that could be 4 hours, but then if there's traffic, it could be 8 hours. So that doesn't really work for us. We don't do as the crow flies kind of thing. So we do London. I don't know if London's like 100 miles away. I'm not too sure. So Wizard Wicker says a stone is an imperial unit of mass equal to 14 pounds, approximately 6.35 kilograms. Is still regularly used by people in the United Kingdom and Ireland to measure and express human body weight. Yeah, so we do stone. So yeah, when you guys do like I'm like the wrestlers 240 pounds. I have no idea. Yeah, still beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. What's everyone doing this week? Has anybody got any plans? Is anyone doing anything for the 6-6 portal? 6-6-6. It's British Sign Language 6. 6-6 portal? When is that? Is that Friday or Saturday? I do not know. I've got quite a few cool guests coming on this week. I'm trying to limit it a little bit so that I can Because I do, in case you guys don't know, I do groups that on Zoom Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. I do groups, so I get UK people generally coming to those groups instead of YouTube. And but YouTube, I get my Aussies, my Americans, my Canadians, my Euros coming into YouTube more than they do come into my other groups. So that's great. Saturday is the 6th of June. That's super cool. Please be patient and nice to yourself. It's very challenging to recover from medical issues. That is true. I actually took some medicines the other day, and my legs and feet were and they were just so swollen. So I'm like thinking, well, I can't take that medicine ever again now. So it's like I might need to go to the doctors actually and figure out what was that. So I took a probiotic, and then I took something for acid, and my legs and feet just swell up. And at the time I was actually using my vibration plate, and I think it had the opposite effect of what I actually wanted it to have. So pondering what to cook for tea tonight, says Dan. Dad, it's 6:15 a.m. and you're thinking about dinner tonight? Thinking chili or spaghetti bolognese. My son eats a lot of pasta. He really does. He could be like an Italian man. He could. He eats pizza as an after-school snack every day. And this is not a routine that I started. Him and his dad created this routine. And you know what we're like. You know, if you're semi-autistic, ADHD, we love our routines. And then so I do need to buy more pasta today, actually, because I know he'll eat the entire plate if I give him pasta. If I give him anything else, then not so much. Dan Guest says, I was on crutches for 9 months and it sucked. Had to clop around like a tripod. Yeah. Well, I couldn't use crutches. So I couldn't use crutches. I had to use a walker. I had to use a Zimmer frame. And my sister's going through this right now because she broke her foot, didn't she, recently? She broke her foot in 2 places, my sister Pauline. And I don't think people appreciated what I went through and how hard it was, because there were some aspects of me that probably made it look easier than it was. And just hopping. Oh my God, hopping when you weigh like what I weigh is not easy because I'm quite a big girl. And so that was hard. And I was always terrified I was going to break my left ankle and then I would have been totally screwed. So I had to hop around for a while. I had a cast on for, yeah, it really was. It was supposed to have the cast on for 6 weeks, but I ended up having it on for longer. Then I was supposed to have an air boot on for a limited time and had that on for longer. My scar is really gnarly because it was major foot and ankle surgery. So my poor sister's going through this right now. And there's a lot of fear, when you take out one of your limbs, there's a lot of fear. So it's like you're scared that you're going to hurt yourself. And I was saying to her yesterday on the phone, I literally almost fell so many times, or I did fall, and I just had to deal with it. And so going to the bathroom on one leg, it's hard. It really is. So yeah, so I still have frames and things in my bathroom. Getting in and out of the bathtub is super hard for me, and but it's for me that's like a challenge for mobility if I can climb in and out of the bathtub. So I know that sounds super bad, doesn't it? It's like thinking, geez, my mobility was so bad. I'm just at the point now where I can go downstairs without thinking about it, stuff where I don't have to stop and think, okay, this is a military operation, just trying to walk down some stairs. But part of me recovering was that I went on a course at the beginning of the year, which is like it's like a 12-week course, I think it was, that I did. And it was so I was kind of retraining to get a higher security license. So I went through this course and I had to actively run and things like that. It was very active, that course. And just getting there, it was hard. Going downstairs on crutches can be terrifying. Yeah, I'm very lucky here because I've got railings. I've got a banister on both sides of my staircase anyway. But when I was on one leg, I literally had to get the paramedics to come and take me away. Right? No, you hear like, you're crazy, we'll get them to come and take you away. No, they really had to come and take me away. So they'd have to come upstairs and they say, okay, what can you do, what can you not do on one leg when you've got a cast on for so long, and they'd have to strap me into a rescue chair, right, and I have to get carried down the stairs and back up the stairs by paramedics to get to my hospital appointments. So, but I did have a trip to Glastonbury last July with 4 friends, and boy, was that like, it could have been a comedy. It really could have been, because Glastonbury is not designed for people in wheelchairs. Glastonbury is not a disabled friendly place at all. If you've got a disability that really affects your mobility, you can't get into hardly any of the shops in Glastonbury town. The high street is cobbled in so many places. You know, it's not disabled friendly at all. There just is not access. There was like maybe 2 shops I could go into in the whole of Glastonbury, where we could take the wheelchair in. And luckily there was a couple of street sellers where everything's just on the floor, and it was so weird because I actually knew one of them. I was like, oh, hello. Not seen you since that event in Stockport on the other side of the country. So yeah, so I managed to pick up a couple of crystals from the copper guy that I knew. So that was good. And but Glastonbury is not wheelchair friendly. I went to the Chalice Well, and my wheelchair nearly went into one of the pools of water because it didn't have real brakes on, and all my friends wanted to hike up because Chalice Well is all layered to get down to get to the well. So I just had to sit at the bottom pool and stuff like that. So Glastonbury is an absolute freaking nightmare for anybody who's disabled, and I think they really need to do something about it. You know, because you expect a shop to actually have ramps and things. No, nothing. Rubbish. That's the best way to see these hindrances. Challenge accepted. Yes. Honestly, my whole life is like, okay, military operation here. What is the challenge? Can we do this? Post a picture on YouTube of your gnarly scar. No. But this time last year, if you go back to my Facebook, there was regular pictures of my aura because I was doing the biofeedback scan. So I had a session, just a mini session with Karen McDonald, the clan mother, who I do need to try and get on the channel actually. So she messaged me and said, let's do this 15-minute session together. So she FaceTimed me, and we did that. And then I downloaded the free app for the BioGenius app. And then so for like 2 weeks, I was posting on YouTube. Actually, I put up my YouTube posts and on my Facebook posts. You could see my aura going from brown, where it had anesthetic. It picked up that I had anesthetic in my body. So my aura was brown. And then over 2 weeks, it went back through all these different colors. So brown to orange to green to pink to purple. So finally went back to my natural violet flame aura. But it took me 2 weeks of listening to, running the frequencies through the app as well, because it plays tones at you. And I was listening to singing bowls like every day for 2 weeks, and you know, it was gnarly. It really was. Sprinkle says I had 2 surgeries and a skin graft I had to get, and I had to wear that damn boot. Yes, I was in that damn boot. For fuck's sake, right? So you think, oh, air boot, how amazing. Well, here's your regular foot, and here's your foot in the air boot. So you've got this gap. You've got this 2 inches or more. So, of course, your hips are out of alignment the whole time. So then you have to get another shoe. So I had to order like a Spice Girls shoe. So I could bring my feet closer together. So your hips are like, so I literally thought, I'm going to need a spinal adjustment here. This is bad. But it was fine. I managed to just kind of rework my spine to get. I don't think it's probably not 100% because Drago was, when I met him in December, it was the first time me actually going out and about properly. So I was working the conference, which I'm quite active at times. So I'm not going to use the crutch. So I only used the crutch at night time when we were going out for dinner. And so there's a big difference between how you see me in the day and I'm running around, I'm sitting, running around, then sitting, right? Doing things, setting up podcasts and stuff. And then we would drive 30 minutes to get to the next town to have dinner. And I couldn't even get out the car, right? I had to use my crutch to get out the car. And then to get to the restaurant, I just had a crutch on one side by then. So, but yeah, so you see me in the day, you think, oh, she's fine. And then you see me trying to get out of a car like an old granny. It was bad. So yeah, so by December I got rid of the air boots and everything. I'm hoping that my sister gets an air boot today actually. I also had 3 head fractures. Like, okay, Sprinkles, are you okay? Oh my word, you fractured your head and everything. Wow. Skin grafts on top as well. Jeez, lady, are you okay? So they had to graft the back of my heel, and this is what I was mentioning to Sean. So I do get pain on my heel at the back. If I kind of stand but a bit more to the right, I'll get this terrible pain. So they've cut off some of my heel to use that bone in the ankle. So the heel has not fully recovered. You would carry me to the top. Oh no, you wouldn't be able to carry me. That's how heavy I am right now. But I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. You know, I am a single parent, so it's like you're thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? Right? But I got through it. I did it all. I did it all by myself. I had my sisters coming in to bring me food once a day. And they would only stay very briefly because of the heat in here. It was so hot. People would get to the top of the stairs and they just look like dripping in sweat, like, oh my God, this place is a nightmare. Wizardmaker says, when I was in the ninth grade, my left leg shattered my growth plate in that ankle and broke the fibula. I'm glad the bones were done growing so I didn't end up one leg shorter than the other. Oh my word. That is so bad. Jeez, you guys. What? I don't think that sounds quite right. The itch and the smell. You know what? I didn't find the smell was that bad, but I was probably just accustomed to it when you have a cast on and everything. So what they did first was, right, they put me in a soft cast. I don't know if you guys have ever had a soft cast. So there was just a plate running down the back of my leg and under my foot. And they basically just wrapped me in cotton wool. They literally wrapped me in cotton wool, which seems fine until you come back to your house and it's over 100 degrees. So what would that be, like 40? I don't know. So it was like, so I'm in this woolly leg boot in a way, just wrapped like that for 3 weeks, and then they took that off. So I got photos of what that looked like. It was gnarly, and then they put me in another cast. So I had cast changes. It was like that. So it wasn't so bad that way. But I was happy when I got the air boot on. But of course, you can't sleep in that, so you still got to be really careful. I still elevate my legs now when I go to bed. Oh, Shaylee's stories are really scary. That was nothing compared to when I had to wear the neck brace. I hated that thing. Also broke my neck a different time. Girl, you need to put some weight on, right? You seem super fragile. Wizardmaker says, I also had a couple of herniated discs in my lower back, but I got those all healed up. Yeah. Herb says I have degenerated discs. It's a real drag. Oh my God, we're all falling apart. Prime specimens over here. So as a clone scientist, right, I have a friend who's like falling apart, and I say to them, "You're a terrible specimen." And the reason I say this because people used to say it to me. I used to work in construction, and there was a guy, so I'd be like hobbling in and all that kind of stuff. And he looked, and this guy Andy said to me, "You're a terrible specimen of a human being." And I was like, what? So he's like, yeah, look at you. You're broken. You're falling apart. And I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. But what I didn't know at that point in time was I'm literally a clone template. So if anyone's like the best specimen of a human being, it's probably me and Draco Reed, because we've got millions and millions of clones made of our DNA. So, hey, what can I say? I've just abused the body, I guess. Shaylee, are you bionic? I think most of us here probably are bionic. Sovereign badass. I'm catching up in the chat. Some people, was the message held? Oh no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna hide that so it doesn't automatically release it. Sorry. Like the movie Bubble Boy. The words foot, healed, shave, surgery in the same sentence make my stomach feel weird. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Shaylee says, I've only died twice. I'm good. Girl, you need to be supervised at all times like myself, right? I saw that reel on Instagram, and it's like there's a man and a woman, and he says, oh, he holds my hand, as we're walking down the street, and then there's another, and then it flicks to what happens when I don't hold her hand. You just see her falling down the stairs, slipping on her bum and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. I probably would bounce. But Shaylee, she's gonna crack. She's only 50 kilo. You guys okay? Are you guys all right? Like the island of misfit toys. It does seem like it. Source approved 144. Good morning. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks at Bases 2026 International Disclosure Conference by Miles Johnston. So yeah, shout out to Source Approved in the chat, who's coming to Bases. She's a badass. I just see a smiley face, and I don't know, does it have a walking stick next to it? What's that? Sprinkle says, when I was 8, I dropped a 50-pound weight on my big toe and broke that too. That's all. I think we've covered that you've broken your head, your neck, your body. Yeah, we need to wrap you in cotton wool and bubble wrap. So Dan, I think Dan's going to have spaghetti bolognese for dinner because we've all said spag bol. I've only broken my big toe, says Hillbilly Herb. Man, that was tender for a long time. Still aches with certain weather. So that's all, Shaylee. Blue Shardin says, broken my right knee, pinky toe, pinky finger. Luckily, most of those injuries were in my teens. Okay, so when I was in my early 20s, I broke both my wrists at the same time. And yeah, so I'm not proud of how I broke both my wrists at the same time. I thought, you know what, I'm 21 or something. I'm still young. I'm still hip. I'm going to get some of those trainers that have wheels on the bottom. And because I used to be an ice skater, obviously not anymore. And yeah, so I literally landed on my bottom and my hands went down like this, like that, to protect myself. And I fractured my wrist here and I fractured my wrist here. So, and I didn't think it was, I thought I was okay. It hurt, but I thought I was okay until my cat just brushed up against me. Oh, Lord, the pain. It was so bad. So then I thought, this isn't good. So I picked up all I could carry, which was my bus pass. And I got on the bus and I went straight to the hospital where I had to sit for like 6 hours crying. And then there was a man and there was a nun that kept staring at me, which is a bit weird. And then I had x-rays and went in to have a dressing or something. And there's this man sitting opposite me who had lost all of his fingers, right? And he's going, it's all right, love. Cheer up. All right. So this guy who's chopped off all of his fingers in the lawnmower telling me to cheer up and trying to tell jokes to make me laugh. And he had no freaking fingers. They're gone. And yeah, so be careful using lawnmowers, guys. Okay, I'm very behind on the chat. Sorry. I believe it was 2013 when I finally went for my appendix. It ruptured in the waiting room. I ended up being in hospital for a week. Oh my God, James, it's so bad. It's free Spock sign day. Okay, guys. Good morning, Woo Riders. How are you? Great to see you. We're talking about injuries. Drop your injury in the chat. Blue Shirt didn't break a pinky toe walking into the door jammer. Okay, so Rainbow Flame is raising the stakes now. You guys, collarbone fracture jumping with a snowboard. Oosh, yeah. Okay, who can beat that? So I've got 2 broken wrists and I had to have my foot broken in several places to fix it. So they literally spent nearly 4 hours in surgery hammering and chiseling my foot. So I'm putting plates and staples. I've got big staples through. You guys have seen the x-rays. I've got big staples through my foot now. Okay, Rainbow Flame. Ouch. Yeah. It takes forever to heal because our shoes are always squishing them. Oh, that's true. I have a friend who broke his collarbone and never ever went to the hospital. Wow. What haven't you broken, Shaylee? I've only broken 3 things. But the foot had to be broken to fix it. I walked with it in another country for 5 more days. My bone almost got out of my skin. Once in Belgium, finally operated. Titanium body now, says Mr. Rainbow Flame. Heather saying it sounds like a Monty Python sketch. Ministry of the Silly Walks. Wow, we're pretty badass. Yeah. Although mine is just osteoarthritis, so they're just withered away, and that kind of thing happens when you're in the programs. The aftercare body that you get returned into. Sprinkle says my hips wouldn't open for childbirth, so I had to have a C-section. I also had a C-section. But I did try and do the natural birth thing for 3 days. That didn't work. But the dodgy things, at one point I literally thought, am I a synthetic because I couldn't birth naturally? Because these are the things that run through your mind when you get into the SSP of like, isn't it weird how I had a German and an American midwife in India? Oh, isn't it weird how I was the only pregnant person in that hospital? Oh, right? You start to think of, am I synthetic? Did they have to like create something and then give it? No, sorry, it's so weird. No, I know I naturally birthed it. I know I did. It's mine. It looks exactly like me. I know I've died from childbirth in the past lives. Yes. We're all wrecked. Need to do those med beds now, please. Yeah. Okay. Hands up who needs a med bed. Oh my God. How much would you pay for that med bed? I think at some point we are all going to get into these med beds. I'm hoping it's while I'm alive, like, in the next 40 years. I could do so much more good in this world without pain. Yes, indeed. Where are the med beds? Indeed. We need med beds. Okay. Yes. I need to go through a transporter, and I need them to recode my DNA through the transporter, just like in Star Trek Next Generation or in Voyager, where they just take out like a disease or whatever through the transporter system. Hey, Kasturi, good morning. How are you? We're talking about our injuries. Wizard Kiss says, when you find out about the SSP stuff, then you start to think back on your life about things that happened. Yeah. Oh my God. It's like you recalculate everything then. So injuries or accidents have followed breakthroughs targeting much. Yeah. Chips of medbirds standing ready. We need to pull cards for that if it's true. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure if these cards will be the right one. I might have to use the pendulum. So are we going to get access to medbirds in 2026 to 2027? I think we are, because so I gave it a set time frame of 2026 to 2027, and I've got the Akashic Stargate aligned with purpose, which is to get the medbed. Crossroads, no wrong path. So I think this is a yes on the medbeds within the next year and a half. So I think there will be access to the medbed technology. Yeah, on a ship. Yeah. Ships of medbed standing ready. Okay, what else can we have? Information about medbeds. So, are medbeds on this future? Yeah, I think they are, because I got the Merkaba activation. Transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. So we are on the ascension timeline where we will get access to medbeds. Okay, so I think that's true. We will just been re-inspecting everything. Dan says the knowledge of SSP gives you endless questing and answers to things long hidden. Coincidence is cancelled. Yes. It's weird. It's like, as I said in the chat yesterday when we were premiering the panel discussion, I've actively tried to debunk my SSP memories. I can't. It's the only thing that makes sense. And the more I connect with people and like they remember me and could tell me things about myself that they shouldn't know, it's the only thing that makes sense. Like yeah, like Drago knows exactly who I am, like in my core. He shouldn't know that. You know what I mean? We only met in March 2025. He shouldn't know exactly how I act and stuff like that, should he? He didn't follow me. He had no idea who I was until that moment, right? He didn't know who Julia was. And but then I started to filter into his memories. And so he realized that was me. Hold on, I've got all these memories, and that's you. Like, he just knew it was me. Because we look so similar. You guys can't probably tell, but honestly, we're literally like mirror image. We are. That's what I'm starting to think, Kat, being targeted with all these injuries. Yeah, so we do get high levels of targeting if we're getting targeted on mobility and things like that. First of all, never ask the universe for a break. Never ask for a break, because you will get a literal break. So you can ask the universe for, some time to do certain things, or, for some rejuvenation time perhaps, but never ask for a break, big time. Somebody says to me, oh, I've broken a bone. I'm like, oh, you asked for a break. So, yeah, so what was I thinking now? Oh yes, the targeting. Yes, targeting. So I've been actively hit with direct energy weapons at a train station where they use the lighting above me to target me. And until that point, I was absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with me. And then I step off the train under some new lighting. Bam, I couldn't walk. It was like insane. And I spoke to Miles about this, and he said there was somebody else who was kind of captured between two streetlights, and she couldn't get out of it. It was like bombarding her from two streetlights, and she literally had to like camo away from these streetlights, and then she was okay. So yeah, they really do use the streetlights. Plus, my sister Pauline is like the truther religious person, and she's telling me about the new lighting that's going out and how they've got speakers and stuff like that to be able to say, "Citizen, go back to your home. Citizen, you're leaving your city." You know, slow you down, right? Ascension timeline, woohoo! I know. So Danny Hogg, Danny, I had major surgery and I birthed an 8-pound, 12-ounce newborn while being a full-time student all by myself. Kid's dad was, oh gosh, they won't let him out. No, they won't let him out. I'm so sorry, Danny. Wow. Good on you, Danny. You're a strong, powerful woman. You really are. Stop doing so much yard work. Like, always in the yard. I'm sorry, guys. So sorry. The reason I wasn't on the live chat for the premiere is I'm usually still in bed at that time. Well, that's okay. I mean, Christy's put it on her channel now. I think Tiffany's put it on her channel. Michael Koff will probably put it on his channel a few days later. He might do a live premiere. I'll talk to him and see. Dan Guest says, I looked at that, it said Dan Quest. Whatever minerals, materials used in med beds and replicated technology, these countries will be busy. Yes. Holy smokes, Danny. Words matter. Be very careful what you wish for. Exactly. Danny, the system don't give a shit. Right? The universe doesn't understand double negatives yet. Yeah, 5G relays on the streetlights. Don't wish to not get sick. Be thankful for good health, says Herb. That's good. Lol, Julia doing Danny's voice is so cute and funny. Danny probably sounds nothing like that. But she does have a beautiful voice because she comes in the group, so she's got a lovely accent. UV lights repel crawlers. Uncategorized subterranean life. Yeah. Scary creatures. Look up the movie Decent. Oh, crawlers? Wow, Danny, that's some powerful divine feminine stuff right there. Yes. Yep. Okay, would anybody like a card from the Gateway of Light deck? So this is High Vibe Energies. That's what we're anchoring into June. High Vibe Energies. Let's just have one card right now. That's going to give us the overall energy for June, please. For my collective. Oh, I like this. Woo! Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting the process, Dharma. Okay, Shambhala initiations. So we may be tested, but it's so that we can bring ourselves into balance. Yeah, Shambhala is like that ultimate energy of the divine masters, trusting in the process. Yeah. So this is great. Okay. Dan says carve me. Terry says, okay, hold on. Hold on, let me get my list. Geez, guys, that was fast. So we've got Sprinks. We've got Wiz. You all get funny names. We've got Rainbow. So I've got Sprinks, Wiz, Rainbow. Terry, that's a normal name. Yeah. Dan's normal name. Herb, do you want a card? Source approved. Herb, just clarify if that's a card or not. Okay. So we're just going to have a look at your overall June theme. Okay. So first on my list, I've got Sprinkles, aka Shaylee, with the sh, not a ch. Shaylee, what is her message, themes, and energies for June, please? Okay, great. It's one of the cards we've already had out. It's remembering home, star family. So Shaylee, for this month, this is you connecting into your star family lineage. Yeah, you're going to integrate more and more of who you are, who you were, who you will be. It's all coming in for you in June. So you should get greater clarity and hopefully more messages and connections from your star family this month. So there is a lot of purple energy here. So there's a lot of spiritual work going on for you in June. So this is great for Shaylee. Yep, so stars aligned, but I want to read it as scars aligned. Okay, you do the work on that one. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you to James for popping in the PayPal there in the chat. Yeah, paypal.me/Anchorhaven. So you don't need to pay for readings, but all donations are gratefully received because it helps me get to the BASES International Disclosure Conference on the 19th to the 21st of June. So I volunteer at BASES, so I get a free ticket and I get some free support and advertising from Miles as well. So I do all the graphic design in the background, I design the programs, and I support him with general admin of running an event. And but I still need to be there. So I've booked part of my train ticket. I've got accommodation to pay for. There's a lot of transport issues because we're in the middle of freaking nowhere, and then there's all the eating out and stuff like that I need to try and factor in. Although last time we didn't really eat in the day, it was like we were so busy. With so much going on, we didn't eat much in the day, so that evening meal was quite important. But yeah, so thank you to everybody who has purchased my Breakaway Oracle deck, or who's and James, I think, got 2 t-shirts. Did you get 2 t-shirts? Was that you, James? I got a very cryptic message from Sonia Galatek saying that I'd sold 2 Bar Ra t-shirts, and so I don't really get to see it, you see, because she manages it for me. But I heard there was enough profit there for me to put that towards an Anchorhaven t-shirt. So I only had to pay like $10 or something on top to get myself an Anchorhaven purple logo t-shirt. So I've ordered that. Hopefully that'll come before my conference. So I'll be able to take that. I would love to get a Bar Ra t-shirt as well. So please head to my galactechfire.com/Anchorhaven to have a look at the merch that's available. So we've got WFW mugs, we've got Bar Ra t-shirts, and there's 2 or 3 different designs, and we've got an Anchorhaven logo t-shirt over there. And Anchorhaven mugs just look freaking awesome. They really do, because it's all black and purple. They look so cool. And these are shipped internationally. So if you're in Europe, they get shipped from Europe. If you're in Americas, it gets shipped from America. The only place that's a little bit pricey on the shipping is Australia. I'm so sorry, Aussies. I don't know what service you use to make everything. But I did order the Psychic Duck t-shirt from over there, so you can support Rob Khalil at galactechfire.com/TSP, I think. So Rob's got t-shirts over there on Sonia's stores as well, so go check that out. But yeah, paypal.me/Anchorhaven. I'm still not close to getting this money out of YouTube. So when you send super chats and everything, it just gets held. So hopefully on the 21st, so after the conference, I'll get the YouTube cash out. But right now, paypal.me/Anchorhaven, or if you go to my channel description, there's a link there to pay by a credit card using SumUp. So SumUp is a payment processor here in the UK. So when I'm at events, I have my phone, people just pay on my phone with SumUp. So that is a secure credit card payment there. I've not had anyone try it yet from America or anything like that, but that is there. Or you can always send me a buymeacoffee.com/Anchorhaven. I am on Buy Me a Coffee. So that, I think one time somebody sent me a Buy Me a Coffee. Or buy me a Pepsi. Okay, so that was for Sprinkles. She's got Star Family Connections. Do I fly at night time with my broom over there? When I fly in my dreams, I need a power bank. Don't know why. So this is my besom called Matilda. She was handcrafted for me, like piece by piece, by the Wiccan lady from Leeds, wiccanlady.co.uk. And Matilda is activated. She's enchanted. And she holds this space for us. So she brings in protection energy. She used to be in my mystical wellness studio, and she used to bring protection over there. So she's watching over us, Matilda. Okay, so just gonna... Volunteers are a great idea. There's a big kind of conference in town. I wish I was attending this week. Next year I should try and volunteer. Yeah, I volunteered at shamanic festivals and things like that. So just get yourself there, and then you've got stuff to do while you're there. So it's not like you're just hanging out or whatever. You've got stuff to do. You've got a place to be. Yeah, so I'll have a little booth set up at bases, and that way I've got a booth to go back to. I can sell my cards if I want to. There's a green room, so I'm going to set up side podcasts with Rob at Typical Skeptic. Oh, I wish James ordered 2 t-shirts. Thank you, James. That's so cool. Thank you so much. Morning meetup, Cat. Okay, you take care. There's a message held, and it was by Pussycat. Meet well, says Rainbow Flame. That got held for review. Love the Psychic Duck. Yeah, I got my Psychic Duck t-shirt from the galactechfire.com/typical TSP, the Typical Skeptic store. So yeah, so Rob's got a store over there, and I've got a store over there. So do check that out. But it's Galac, GALAC, or Galac, or LECTEC. She spells it funny. Galactech instead of galactic. It's Galactech. Yeah. Matilda. Yeah. Okay. The next one is for Wizard Witkiss. What is the message, themes, and energies for June? For James, please. Here we go. Harmony in the heavens, resolution coming together, Palladian activation. So these days, when I think of the Palladians, I actually think of the Palladian medical corps. So I think of them coming in as healers, taking us to healing chambers on their ships and that kind of thing. I will be getting Soma Ara back on in the next 2 weeks before the Summer Days conference, so she can talk about what she's doing over there. So Soma Ara is the Palladian child, the Palladian channel. She's my main Palladian that I work with, and she channels Ashtar command. So yeah, so here we go. This is for James. You've got Palladian activations coming in. So it might, you might think, well, actually, I don't really gel with the Palladians. So use it as an opportunity to see which guide teams, which star family are around you, who would like to step forward. So I work less and less with the Palladians. When I do Palladian crystal healing, which is called Tamiana. But when I was there that day in my training, I got a Syrian guide. A Syrian blue guide came into my face to work with me for that particular work. So it's funny. Okay, Willard. Thank you for putting the pleasantries in, Willard. So good morning, everyone. Can you give me a card reading, please? I'm going to add you to the list. We'll see how we go. Palladians seem like cool folks. Now, John Webberg doesn't believe that Palladians are real. He believes they're off-world Germans posing as Palladians. That's his point of view. Oh, thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. Blue was my very first ever member. And so thank you, guys. So there are a couple of short videos that I put as members only. And I will start to do more and more little members only things. Okay, so the next one is for Rainbow. I was thinking, what's that word I've written? It's for Mr. Rainbow Flame. Medbed Palladians coming forward, confirmation, yeah. Okay, so let's just have a look at the messages, themes, and energies for Mr. Rainbow for June. Okay, this is super cool. Clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy, crystal skull wisdom. Okay, you've got the crystal skulls coming forward. So there's 13 long crystal skulls on the planet. The Mitchell Hedges skull is quite a special skull. I don't include him in the 13, to be honest, because he's not a long skull. But that is a special one. So Rob over at Typical Skeptic, a couple of weeks back, he had the Mitchell Hedges skull, and the people that caretake the skull, he had them on the show. So do go check that, because when you see the skull on the screen, you can start to telepath with the skull. And the way we work when we do skull work is with the skull is facing us and you lock eyes with the skull. And you imagine that there is an infinity of energy going over the skull's head, over your head. So you've got this infinity lock with the skull. Now, if you were holding the skull in person, you'd literally just cup it and make that eye contact, and then you see this wave of energy connecting you over its head, over your head with the skull, and you can telepath. So I think of skulls as like USB drives, basically. I have memories of working in a crystal skull of Atlantis along with Joshua Shapiro. He was like the main master, the caretaker of that temple, and I was a young boy. So Joshua Shapiro, the Crystal Skull Explorer, he's fantastic when it comes to this kind of thing. There's 2 videos with him on my channel, but they're from early 2025, so do go check them out. So this is for Mr. Rainbow Flame, and it's high vibrational energy, divine healing, and clarity is coming forward for you in June. So this is your theme for June. So I love that for you. The next one, we've got Terry. Awesome. We're working on the yard, yeah. Danny knows all about working on the yard. She's a badass cowgirl. So yard work is hard. Well, she's in Texas. It's super hot over there. So this is for Terry B. What's her energy for June, please? Love it. Anchoring, grounded action, Isis energy, Earth Star activation. So this is you grounding down deeper than you've ever grounded before, right? Earth Star energy. So the Earth Star is the chakra below your feet. It's about 12 inches or so below you, 12 to 18 inches below you, about 1.5 feet. So when I ground, I don't ground from the root anymore. I see the root, like the base of the spine. I see that area as a skirt of grounded energy that connects down into the earth star below my feet. And the earth star, we envision it to be not like a round chakra. We think of it as a round platform, and you can expand out this platform so that you're really stable. So this is the earth star, yeah? So you anchor into the earth star, but I still send my grounding roots through the earth star deeper into the core of the planet now. That's how deep down I ground. I literally anchor in right into her core. Yeah, so for you, you've got, it says Isis energy. This could be because we're also in this blue moon energy right now, which there's a Reiki, which might be in my web shop on Patreon. That's called Isis Blue Moon Reiki. So yeah, so it's a nice one to think of Isis and the moon energy, if that's the kind of thing that you like to do. But this is all about grounded, stable. Yeah, so you're not just stable for you, you're stable for everyone around you. So that's really strong energy for Terry in June. Just gonna wipe my face 1 second. You've got earthing shoes. There used to be a big thing on Instagram last year where they were talking about these earthing shoes a lot. Yeah. Kastori says, am I on the right path? Should I continue with the sessions that I'm taking? Okay. Well, I'm just putting you to the bottom of the list, Kastori. So we're just doing the general theme of what's going on for June. So we're right at the start of the month here. So next on the list, I've got Dan. Okay, June is a busy month for me because I'm launching an Oracle card deck. I'm doing 2 conferences. You know, we're at that midway point for the year, so I need to start to figure out what am I doing the rest of the year. Am I getting a muggle job now, or am I going to go full on with my spiritual business and podcasting work? So this is for Dan. Okay, so Dan, you've got energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Now this card says Anunnaki-like codes, but Pink Bella and I, we don't tune into this Anunnaki energy when we work with these cards. We were laughing about the other day about, oh, you know those cards. Well, this is one of them. So it's about light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. So you're literally ending something right now, Dan. You're starting a new phase of your life. And that makes sense to me because you've got a new baby coming into the world. So that's super awesome. Yeah, so you've got a lot of light codes, a lot of light energy. So your baby, and this sounds weird, but Zia Star had this as well. Your baby is bringing forward an energetic shift and information. So when she comes in, she's literally bringing in new information for you from the Akashic Records. And Z Earth Star, right, from what's her channel over at Z Earth Star. So Z Earth Star, she went through when she was pregnant a couple of years back, probably. She went through this whole big energetic shift, and the baby, in the belly was channeling information. so it was like the womb portal was open and new information was channeling in. So you're literally, as this new baby comes in, she's bringing forward a whole new download of information for you and for your missus and for your whole family. So this is very, very exciting for you. So it definitely is the start of something brand new, and it all starts with the birth of your baby. So yes, we can't wait for you to start this new phase with your family. That's so exciting. Yeah, awesome. Very, very positive, very lovely energy, very old soul energy. Oh, I've got a massive confirmation of energy on that. Yeah, so this new baby is a very old soul. Yeah, you've had her before in your soul circuit. That's very exciting. You're here for your children. Yeah, you're a good dad. Lots of loving blessings from Mrs. Guest. So, okay, the next one is for my friend Heather. Okay. So this is June energy. You've got the Shambhala. Okay, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, and Dharma. Now, I don't know what it is about Dharma, but it never stays in my mind. Just makes me think of Dharma and Greg, the TV show. So if you guys know the definition of Dharma, please pop it in the chat because it will not stay in my mind. But retreating to recharge, trusting in the process. So yeah, so this next phase, this June for Heather, is going to be a time where you do need to rest. You do need to rest your energy. Maybe you've got information, memories coming forward that might be a little bit more activating in June. So do put your health first. Do take time to do things that you enjoy, and we're going to be at bases together. So hopefully that'll be good. So, because it was really fun to meet you in person last time. So it's super cool. So trust in the process. So whatever's going on with you right now, just know that you're on the right path. Okay. But you do need to take a bit more time to rest and reset and nurture your energy. Okay. So this is your June, is retreat to recharge. Okay. So the next one on my list is Hillbilly Herb. You think of Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know what it is. I just can't associate that word with something. Okay, so this is for Hillbilly Herb. What's his energy for June, please? What messages, themes, and energies are supporting? Ooh. Okay, Herb. I need you to have one clear focus about June. Just take a deep breath for me. Thank you. Interesting. Okay. So you've also got the star gathering card, stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. So for me, this card is about the stars aligned. So something that you've been working towards is going to play out, hopefully better than you can even imagine. So stars aligned. So things are coming into focus now. So June is going to be a bit of a resolution month for you. Yeah. It's going to hopefully be a month where you feel confident that things are exactly as they should be, that it's getting oh, that's nice, thank you. Okay, yeah, so remembering home, so you're going to get a lot more clarity. This is for Hillbilly Herb. Get a lot more clarity in June about your star family, your star codes. That information is going to come forward and going to anchor in. That's cool. You're welcome, Rainbow. So Willard says, Julia, you think the late Dr. Sabi Med could help you hear again? I don't know, but we were talking about med beds earlier, so I mean, mine is just a calcium situation. Hillbilly House says, wow, Anchorhaven, that sounds so exciting and hopeful. It matches a recent astrological reading I had for June. Time to move forward. Much thanks. Okay, that's brilliant. That's so awesome. Okay, so next on the list, I've got Blue Jardin. This is for Blue, who's my top member on YouTube. She's the very first one. Yeah, thank you guys for supporting my little channel. Ooh, blue. This is interesting. Halls of a mentee, initiation, secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. Okay. Okay, so there's an element of this for you for June. So this is for Blue Jardin. There is a balance aspect coming in June, and because you're bringing yourself back into balance, you are going to start to get clarity and information coming forward for you. You may feel in June that you really want to start learning more, that you want to go deeper into certain topics, or you might even be redirected to learn something completely different in June. So halls of a mentee, halls of learning, Akashic records opening up, galactic Akashic records just came into my mind. So it could be star family information clarity is coming in as well. Initiations. So initiations are never easy. They are never, butterflies and marshmallows. I don't know why it's coming like that, but they never are. Initiation means there's a challenge and you're going to overcome it. But when you come out the other side, you're going to be so different, so anchored. You're going to be so heavenly. It's just come to mind. These are unusual words I don't normally say, but this is for Blue Jardin. So just know that June is a time of initiation. So you might be going through kind of a rites of passage in some kind of way. So do make sure you focus on nurturing you. But there is a focus on learning. So there's new information that's coming in. You might even get a surge. You might get a quickening of energy where you just like all of a sudden you've got to look into something. All of a sudden you've got to go someplace. Because when you do, it's going to have an activation. So this is for Blue Jardin. This is quite exciting energy for you in June, but it might have its ups and downs, but focus on balance. We've got the red grounding. We've got the black and white energy here of balance. Yeah. So that's your kind of key word for June is balance. I think it's hilarious that Julia knew I needed a deep breath and to focus. Sorry. Well, when I can't lock in a particular timeline and I see other cards popping up, so I see that you are riding multiple timelines, yeah? So then I say, focus, take a deep breath, let's anchor into one timeline, yeah. Hey, Joe. Okay, Joe, you're going to the bottom of the list. So I'll just see. So there's Willard, Kasturi, and then Joe. Okay. Now, I can't keep up with the chat, I'm afraid. Blue Jordan says, that's crazy. I heard Halls of a Mentee during meditation last week. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. This next card is for Willard. So, Willard, you do need to take a deep breath and just focus on June energy. What's my highest outcome for June? So, what's the messages, themes, and energies for Willard in June, please? So, this is just general guidance. Entertainment purposes only. Take what resonates and leave the rest. So yeah, you're still a bit scattered across 3 different timelines, but I've honed in on this one. Okay, this is angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe. Potent connection. So this is a support system coming in for you, Willard. So you have angelic guides that are stepping forward right now to work with you. So whether you're into angels or not, there is an angelic guide. So angelic frequencies are dragon, even Sasquatch I consider to be an elemental angelic guide, unicorns and angels, archangels, violet flame angels, ultraviolet flame angels, crystal light angels. These are kind of ones that I work with. I don't just work with archangels, yeah? I work with my guardian angel first, then I work with violet flame angels, and I work with crystal light angels. That's in my team. So think about who you have around you. I'm feeling very breathless when I talk to you, Willard. You make me feel breathless. So your energy is not balanced. So we need to ground down and then think about, okay, who's around me? Yeah. So who's here to support me? But I think you would do well just to bring it into general conversation and to just start talking to your angelic guides or whoever you choose to work with, and just rainbow angels. Yeah, perfect. And just ask that they are there with you. Okay. So just say, like, I know you're there in the highest light and resonance. Thank you for being with me. You can always ask angels to step forward so you can feel their presence, and ask them to step back so you know what that feels like when they're not near. Yeah, so you can test that frequency. When I go onto Karen Holton TV on Sunday on Karen's channel. I may talk about my angelic experiences. I've only had 2 or 3. I've generally spoken about it with you guys, but I might talk about it on her Aliens and Angels TV show. Which is on her channel. So you've got angels are here, you are safe, potent connection. So it's time to tune into these potent connections. You've been giving a lot of signs and synchronicities. There's a lot of things happening around you. For me, it feels like repeating words, repeating numbers. It might not be feathers and the usual thing. So yesterday I went to a sound bath with my friend, and as I finished the sound bath, I stood up, taking the pillow, my yoga mat, at the top of my pillow there was a band. Okay, now I see these bands everywhere I go. They are always in front of me, to the point of now I know that these are from my guide team. And so there was just one on the floor at the top of my head. Now it's not from my hair. I've been working with a white band lately. You guys will see I've had a white band on. This black band was just sitting there. In between the chair and the yoga mat, there was a band. Wasn't there when I put it all down, right? And then I was helping my friend because she was organising, so I was helping her take everything back to the car. And then I'm standing next to the car, and there was a band, right there. There was another band, so that was 2. So I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So I go back in, I mentioned to my friend, she says, well, that's really odd. And these are always generally new bands, they're in good condition, you know what I mean? So I pick it up, put it on my wrist. And then we're closing up towards the end, and I'm talking to, there's like 4 of us there, and I say, oh, okay, see you next time. And then one day goes to me, did you miss this band? And I was like, what? And then a foot away from where I'd been standing was another band. So I got 3 within like 15 minutes. Yeah, so sometimes these signs are there around you all the time, you just don't notice them. But now I've made this association because in India we generally wear black bands, or you see people with a black cord, or they'll start to have, maybe they'll have the bindi, or well, not the sindoor, but they'll have, so we have things on, and this is for protection. So even when my son was a baby, he had to have black cotton wrapped around him as a necklace, because people covet, they kind of like think, oh, I wish I had that baby, and they send you evil eye and stuff. So I generally wear these bands all the time. You see me doing it. Plus I like to tie back my hair. So Willard, look out for these signs and synchronicities around you. I do feel like numbers on the radio, songs on the radio, things like that are going to be interesting for you. But in June, your mission, if you choose to accept it, Willard, is to connect into the support team you have around you. So your spiritual support team. So whoever you work with, it might not be angels in that form. It could be, a star guide comes in for you, like Palladian or whatever, or it could be you think, yeah, I really like the idea of working with dragon energies, but there is support around you. You are not alone. Okay, so just kind of put your trust in that, is what came to my mind. Trust that you are not alone. Trust that you are supported. Yeah. So when I connect into you, it's very breathless energy. So your heart rate is high, your blood pressure could be high. So please do go and look into that kind of thing. Okay. So disconnecting from everybody that I've connected to so far. Thank you. So next on my list is Kastori. I think you just wanted to know that you're on the right path, didn't you? So we're having a look at your June energy. There's the hairdryer. My son's getting ready for school. It's 7:12 a.m. here in the United Kingdom, in the northwest of England, in the Liverpool City region. I am Anchorhaven, and this is the Mystical Wellness Channel. So this is for Kastori. Are they on the right path? What's their path for June, please? Kastori, you also need to take a deep breath and just give me one timeline to focus on. Thank you. Interesting. Okay, so this is for Kastori. So the timeline that you are on, continue with the sessions that you've been taking. Are they third eye related? Because that's what's come out here. So we've got third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. So for June, your focus is on developing your psychic sight, your clair senses. Now it might not be, clairaudience. Sorry, for you it's clairaudience. It might not be clairvoyance. It could be clairaudience, could be clairsentience, claircognizance. But if for you the focus in June is to focus on your knowing, This is your focus. Yeah. So what sessions have you been taking? Can you share? Are they psychic related? No, I haven't used full spectrum CBD. I mean, Jason is my go-to expert when it comes to that kind of thing. So at some point I will talk to Jason about it. So Kastori, let me know, these sessions, are they related to your psychic work or not? Because this is the focus. So for June, it's your third eye activation. So the brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. So it's about trusting your knowing, trusting your psychic sight, trusting that gut instinct. Yeah, this is what you need to be doing in June. Trusting what you know, what you see, feel, sense, and know is true. Okay, that's the lesson for you in June. So I don't know if that's related to the sessions that you're doing right now, but this is what the energy of June is coming in from your higher self, saying just know and fine tune your senses. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. It's literally like, because this third eye activation, it's like you're opening up a portal. So this portal in your mind, this kind of stargate in your mind, is opening up for you in June. So everything will start to get clearer and clearer in June, but you need to trust that you are psychic. You need to. So I didn't call myself a psychic for the longest time, but once I did, I went on a 5-day course as an advanced psychic medium. Advanced? What? So it wasn't very advanced, is what I realized, because I was already at a certain level. I didn't realize I was already at that level. So I did the 5-day course. It was like a residential course. I did it with my sister Suzanne. We thoroughly enjoyed it. It was with Simon Goodfellow here in the UK. And by the end of the course, we all came away saying, yes, we are psychic mediums. Yeah. So I'm not the kind of medium that channels your granny or whatever. I'm a galactic medium. So I will tune into star family, higher selves, energy, dragons, that kind of thing. That's me. I generally try and avoid like working with spirit in that way. Advanced, turns out you could have been, no, definitely not. I do teach beginners. I'm actually teaching this Saturday an aura reading and psychic senses class this Saturday, but I teach beginners. Yeah, that's what I love to do, beginners work, to kind of get people, build their confidence. So I'm actually doing that this Saturday at a spiritualist church. How funny is that? So yeah, but this is for Kastori. So your focus for this next 4 weeks is to focus on your trust and your knowing. Yeah. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that's what I've got. Okay, now the last reading I've got is for Joe. So if anybody still wanted a card, this is the last opportunity to pop that in right now. Oh, hey Phoenix, how are you doing? So I've been going for 106 minutes. You know I'm near the end of Fearlessly Phoenixing comes in. So Phoenix, I'm going to be on Karen's show on Sunday. It's interesting that she asked me, because she said, oh, you should come on. And I was like, no. And then she messaged me yesterday saying, would you like to come on? I was like, yes, please. So I've got 2 conferences to promote anyway. Rainbow Flame says he's from Belgium. The growers for the Netherlands cause the punishment is less here. Oh. Lol, yeah, tonight my daughter had a really hard time tonight going to sleep. Oh. Okay, this next card is for Joe. What are the messages, themes, and energies for Jojo, please? Interesting. Sorry. I know I do that every time. So so this is for Joe, who makes amazing jewelry, I believe. Sword of Light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. Justy, yeah. Okay, Justy is the last card. So this is for Joe. Sword of Light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. So this is your June energy. This is the energy for the next 4 weeks, breakthrough. So whatever you've been going through, you are passing towards something new, okay? When we get the Sword of Light, yeah, it's the sword of truth. So we're literally tuning into Excalibur energy, or Archangel Michael energy. You're tuning into truth and integrity. So you may have an opportunity, shall we say, to stand in your power, to express your truth in June. But just know that you're protected if you need to do that. Cords cut, so we might have people or places or events maybe releasing from you in June. Something is changing, okay? Galactic medium. I know, I've never said that before. That's so weird, isn't it? I generally say Akashic Oracle Weaver because that's what Aralam called me. It says that I weave together timelines. So yeah, so I go with Akashic Weaver generally. Thank you, Wizardwick, for putting the line in there. So divine protection. So this is for Jojo. So cords cut. So you're releasing something in June. It's like you're standing in your power. You're standing there with your sword of truth, and you're not taking any shit in June. Okay. So yeah. So breakthrough energy. So it's not going to be easy, but you're going to draw on your orange creative energies, that passionate life force energy. You've got the blue truth energy, and we've got this golden light of personal power that's anchoring in for you in June. So it's going to be quite an empowering month. It might be a bit tricky, but it's going to be an empowering month for you. Akashic Oracle Weaver, that sounds cool. Yeah, that's what Aralam basically said. And it's true, because I do work with the Akashic Oracle. That's that deck right there. And I weave together different timelines. I've had a couple of people say that they see me do that. So when I scan the cards, for me, that's time streams. So, okay. So the next one is for Justina. This is the last card of the day. Unless we want to check something random. Please can I have the messages, themes, and energies for Justina for June, please? Take a deep breath, Justy. Got it. Interesting. You've also got the Sword of Light coming out. Okay, I'm going to get a deeper message on the Sword of Light. So let's see if there's something else I can pick out for you. So I'm just going to scan the guidebook and see if there's another message there. Okay. Right, so this could be for everybody. If it resonates with you, take it. This card comes to you. Know that it is confirmation that you are walking the path of light and responding to pre-incarnation soul contracts to make a difference on this planet. It's also a sign that you have the opportunity to sever connections to fears and limitations. Energetic cords bind us to situations, loved ones, and even the past. But you are in transition now, detaching from unnecessary connections, dramas, and fears. Know that there will be a great severing at this time, and you might feel isolated for a moment as you will be reconfiguring your circle of trust and moving into a life that is in greater alignment with your highest good. Know that the cords that bind you to loved ones and soul family will remain intact. It's only the lower vibrational connections that are being severed. Expect breakthroughs and doors of opportunity opening for you. If you feel strongly connected to Archangel Michael, know that his energy is with you now. So yeah, so when I think of sword energy, I do think of Michael, but I also think of Excalibur. I think of Merlin. So I am a Merlin. I trained with Merlin in other lifetimes. Yeah, so when we think of Excalibur, is available to anybody who is basically worthy, a bit like Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. So you can call on this energy when you need it. River Flames, Dragon Nose, that's awesome. It's a cool card. Looks like a womb and a birthing. Internal power itself is so cool. Oh yeah, that's true. That's interesting. I've not seen it like that before. So Merlic comment just retrograded. Herb says this is a big full moon, major chironic wound stories are closing off. Things might seem a bit raw, but it's a big healing coming in. Let it flow. That sounds great. Excalibur again. Yeah, I love Excalibur. I actually sent Excalibur back last year because I do a Reiki that's called Excalibur Reiki. So we work with the sword, but we also work with there's like a chalice energy as well, because you know you've got your chalice and you've got your sword of truth coming in. So the chalice is the womb, and then you've got the member, right? So priestessing, we do this a lot when we're sitting in circle. We come into our power move. Yeah. Okay, I apologize for the hairdresser. My son is 16. He does a lot of this. I enjoy the discussions in here late night, especially helps when going through extreme targeting, legit targeting. Yes. Yeah, so yeah, guys, most of us here are targeted individuals. Protect yourselves. Yeah, so we each have our own unique targeting pattern. So it's different for everybody. but it doesn't mean that it's more for one and not the other. It's unique to every person's life. So for me, in the last 5 years, it was pain. How much pain can you handle? It was like that. How much radiation can you process? It was like that. Now it's moved into it's changed this year. Now it's more like how much precise incision can you go through. It's like I woke up this morning feeling like I'd been sliced across my ribs, like ribs have been fractured in the night. That's how I feel today. So it's very different today. So last year was a massive test. This year, not so much. I think I'm stronger this year. Okay. Yeah, the hits keep on coming non-stop ever since November 2023. You know what? You're not wrong. Yeah, 2023 has been mad. Yeah, the last 5 years have been really hard on the targeting. Great message, Julie. Thank you. So, yeah. So, can I have a clarity card about the targeting that we're receiving? What's the message, themes, and energies regarding outside targeting? So, not internal, outside targeting. Coming at us all as a collective, my collective here in June. Is there anything that's supportive or clarity? I don't know. Give me something. Okay. This is quite interesting. Sacred inner space, sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. So this is our sacred space right here, right now. We create this sacred space. We show up for one another. We witness each other's journey. We come together to support each other in sacred circle when we do these lives. So you guys might not think of this as a temple space, but it is in its own way. So yes, that's interesting. I'm just going to grab a message from the book on this, Sacred Inner Circle. So for all of us who are feeling targeted, it's talking about the sacral chakra found below the belly button, energetic space that governs our reproductive system and all forms of expression connected to it. So when we're expressing in the disclosure movement, it's the throat and the sacral that we're using to do that. Everything from our sexuality to our capacity to express the tender, more sacred parts of ourselves is connected to the sacral chakra, governed by water. Helps us move with the flow of life in order to express our most authentic self. The card transports us to this sacred inner space. It shows an inner temple, flowing water, soft colours coming from a blooming lotus. This encourages us to see that our sacred parts are beautiful, energetic gateways through which we can express and manifest pure life force. So we get targeted because we're expressing, because we're coming together. That's why we're getting targeted. So you're being guided to the gateway of your sacred self. It's an opportunity to recognize that the more tender and vulnerable aspects of you, your being, holds keys to great power. Honor the sacred within. Reclaim any parts of yourself that you want to experience more love and belonging. Look within. There is a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. So you'll notice that I said, can I talk about targeting that's come from outside of us, not from within us? But I still guided us to look within. So yeah, so it's like I'm saying to us, please don't talk to us about the self-sabotage, the internal dialogue, whatever, but it still redirected us to our sacred inner self. There's a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. Realize that false narratives have been floating around your energetic field, stories that have discouraged you from expressing yourself. You may even have been lied to and told you aren't beautiful. This card is here to remind you that you are beautiful, and more importantly, you can create beauty in the world. Recognize that you hold the power of the universe within, and then you'll find your flow. What a great card. I am going to cut that. What a great card. There we go. Make a little short of that. So yeah, so we're targeted because we're these sacred beings, that we're expressing our truth and we're coming together to empower and lift up our community. There's a lot of energy on this right now. So yeah, so this is for everybody who is brave enough to come together and try and put ourselves out there. So by putting ourselves out there, we do become a target, but we've got the capacity to deal with that, whereas others might not have. So, okay. So Matty West is still here. Says that resonates. Thank you for what you do. Life for me is resetting the targeting after I wrote down all the aspects of me in the order or rank yesterday and things are falling into alignment. That's so cool. Yeah. So nice finding some community in the late hours of the night. That's great. The hits keep on coming non-stop since 2023. So we've had a lot of energetic changes. Phoenix says, such a great message. Catching up now. Been active node. I'm not talking about in astrology. So we are timeline anchor nodes. There's a few of us who anchor the timeline energies. Wu says, well, what started it was I lost over $80,000 and just been a continuous cluster fuck. Right? I can't not say that because that is a mind job. What the hell? You lost $80,000? Herb says, very cool virtual sacred space. Being targeted, Matt West says, helps me know that I'm doing my job. Yeah, soul-wise. So at least there's some sort of guide to go off when we are isolated. So at the beginning of last year, I'm thinking, how does this apply to me? Why would they even bother targeting me? I'm a nobody. I'm nothing, right? I'm literally just like, you like, what's the point, right? So, and then I was working with, and even though I got all this information about, okay, this is who you really are, this is the life that you're meant to be living, this is the lives that you are currently living in other versions of you, but this version of you has literally been like downgraded and put into suburbia and hidden away and cut off and isolated from the dyad, right, who's literally got telepathic connections and stuff, and we work as one, right? Generally we're like a, you know, like a team. So to stop that happening, they literally mind wiped me to oblivion. It's the only phrase I've got that makes sense, and they put me in suburbia, right? So, so I was saying to David Purcell, but I just don't understand why. And I just kept coming back to it. Like every time we got together, I come back to it. I just don't understand why. And he say the same thing all the time. You are not nobody. They don't target people unless they have a reason. Because even targeting costs a lot of money, right? Getting in these aftercare programs, targeting plans, there's a lot of people involved, a lot of money. Even if you think, oh, it's just a satellite, someone's pressing a button. There's a lot. These are $billion, like whatever. And so then he's saying, like, even in my ACIO, they basically say that I'm being targeted. Because I ask, I just don't understand why. They say because they believe that you remember. They believe that you hold that knowledge to whatever that project was, whatever that lab disaster was in 1956 or whenever it was. They believe that you could still remember. So they have to contain you, okay, just in case, right? So I'm in the lifelong targeting pattern, just in case at some point I remember, and they've got an idea that I will start to remember in 2023 to 2026. So they took so many steps in place to stop me connecting to my dyad, right? It's just insane. And we have reconnected now, and I am getting better, but it's still, I get active mind wipes more, I think, than he does. Because he's got a really over energized mind, whereas mine is so, right now, there's no points of view in there. But the funny thing is, I'm an access consciousness practitioner, and that's something that we actually strive to work towards, is having no points of view, no judgments. And I can feel that aspect of me is changing and growing into neutrality, and I love it. But then I'm, as a podcast host, me having some level of awareness on these topics is important. So you know, some interviews I've done recently, and the guest is talking, and my mind is blank. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm in neutrality. Oh shit. I can't remember anything right now. So it's like, so it's very unusual. But yeah, we're targeted because we're important. Yeah. Okay. So being targeted helps me know that I'm doing my job soul-wise. So yeah, so the more targeting you're getting, generally you're on the right path. They're getting scared, they're getting worried, but we have power to offset this. And that's where my energy is moving more this year. But also, like, John McBurg does get targeted, and he takes it in his stride in a way. So he works within the limitations of his targeting pattern, like I do. We know if we do certain things, this will happen or whatever. If I know if I interview a certain person like John McBurg, I'll get hit really bad the next day. New Skin's the worst, actually. Out of everybody I've interviewed, other than Erin Elizabeth, New Skin is the worst. But Erin Elizabeth, I got targeted for talking to Erin. Me. She was okay. I got targeted, isolated, bones burned, and that's how I earned my scorpion, right? So I battled during the podcast, I was in battle in the fucking podcast. I had 2 Sentinel friends like working with me. So there was 3 of us actively battling handlers and ETs during the interview with Erin Elizabeth. That's why I will never, no, nothing against Erin. She's a lovely lady. I will never interview her ever again because it was so bad. That's the only one where I literally got warned off interviewing a certain person. Now, will I do a panel show with her on it? Probably, but not a one-to-one because I got hit so freaking hard. It was insane. And I pulled it together. You couldn't tell. I think if you watched it back, you couldn't tell what's going on in the background. There's just a moment where she's going, "Oh, you've gone. Your camera's off. What's happening?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just dealing with something." I was literally getting bones microwaved. I was getting fried. I was getting thumbs sliced off energetically. It was so bad. So she's the only guest I've ever had where I got hit during the interview that bad. The first one I did with John Whitberg, you can see I'm visibly uncomfortable, but I couldn't work out where the targeting was coming from. And David saying to me, "Damn, I didn't realize it was so bad," because he could feel there was targeting. Well, we couldn't isolate where it was coming from. It was like it was coming from 360 degrees. And like my insides, like now my insides a bit like, because I'm talking about this stuff. And okay, Danny Wu says, Danny showed me certain podcasters who are true friends and not used to donate thousands. Literally, once I stopped, I became a pissant. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Wiz, call on Void, Dragon, and Meditation if you like to work with that, I suppose. To me, Void comes before primordial sounds and light manifestation. So we literally have our energy that traces back to the Void, like Dr. Amir. So we have that dragon lineage of being in the Void. I'm actually a Black Dragon record keeper because in my tree of life, in the roots, there are crystals, says Wizard Rickus. Yep, a lot of us are record keepers. Hillbilly Herb, when I'm feeling really targeted, I try to do a meditation, visualize a bubble around me with arrows coming in. They hit the bubble and go back to the sender. Yeah. So when I do visuals, I generally don't work in white light because it can be penetrated. So you hear me work a lot with iridescent, double diamond, platinum, rose gold, violet flame, so, but just pure white light, I always mix something else in there as well, just from my own experiences. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'm a time traveler, timekeeper, manager, however the time calls it. I choose Rainbow Surfer. Oh, I love that rainbow flame. That's so cool. Life be life, says Danny. Livin. Life's a garden. Dig it. Be careful what you do around the potatoes. They got eyes. That's so true. What am I reading? They said I had rare DNA. Oh, in the rare DNA is Time Lord. Yeah, I'm also Time Lord, so it's Drago Reed. Targeting to hope to try to keep you from it, but it only backfires on them. You're right, Julia. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Justina. Thank you. Did you all hear about not a space agency plans to build a moon base 2032? This is because they want to bring in that second moon. We've got Pink Bella Aloha coming on Tuesday, so we can ask her questions, see what's going on in her galactic reports. So, Brinja, Valkyrie, how are you? Everything's coming together. Hello, Valkyrie. Holy trolley. Yep. Okay, so we've got a lot going on. Yeah, so if you are experiencing targeting, it's because you are an important person in our community. That means you have been or currently are holding information that the regressives, so what I'm going to call them, is deeming to be valuable. So even though it might not make sense to us on a greater scale, there's an aspect of us that is important to this movement, so they're trying to suppress you. And the movement is, of course, the truth movement, just full disclosure movement, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't remember what it is these guys are targeting me for. I have no idea. But somewhere it is there, and that's what they're worried about, that it's going to come forward. Guess I'm not important, or Belgium attackers are lazy. They're not lazy. Oh my god, Helena is really going through the shit for the last year. It's been so bad. No, it could just be that you are in alignment, that you've got good shielding. Now, I was shielded, until February 2025, I was shielded. So although I was targeted and it was bad, I thought it was normal because it was my whole life. But I'd say to people, why do you think this is? And they were like, I really don't know. And then I even said to Soma Arar, so I had a session in 2024, I had a session with Misha Johnston. And so she started to talk about galactics. And I said, I know I'm connected to Venusian councils. Can you check? And she looked at me like, what? And then she checked, and yes, I am connected to the Venusian councils. And we know now it's the Ra Council of Light on Venus. And but she was surprised because it was like nothing, the information was limited. Then I had a session with Audrey Walters in 2024, and I don't have the recording for this, I wish I had it. And I asked her about a Stargate experience I'd had, Stargate's talking to me and stuff like that. And, and we talked through, but again, still nothing SSP coming up. But she did say to me, you should talk to Drago Reed. And this is in like October or December 2024. Audrey was the first person to say, I need to talk to Drago. Right. And because I was thinking at the time of having a regression with Misha Johnston, but Audrey said, no, you need to talk to Drago. Right. Okay. And then I get to February and I had a session with Soma, and I said, basically, what is this? Is it connected to this? And she's like, no. And then the Ashtar command said, yeah, you are connected to MI5, MI6, but maybe just admin. Maybe you're some kind of support worker doing admin at MI5, MI6. Maybe you're a Milab, basically. You've got some kind of back-seated role. Okay. Then I had this session with Sean Bond, and he literally just went, unlocked the files. Yeah, and then now everyone can see. Now everyone can see what's going on there. But before that point in February 2025, very little information was available in my records. And then Sean just went straight in there, and just opened the doors, and everything came out. Yeah. So should I be happy that Sean Bond did that or not? So what do you think? Because when you can go back and watch the video from over a year ago, and straight away in the first 10-15 minutes, he says, oh, SSP, clones. Oh, this, and he just does it so casually. But what he didn't realize was that he literally had the key to my records that nobody else had. So Pink Bella pulled a Zeta card for me. It was funny because she wasn't going to read it at first, but then figured I could handle it. Yeah, Zetas are good and bad. They don't realize they're bad, some of them. Oh shit, that is true. Helena, I hope she's well. Yeah, so Helena is, I call her Helena, what do I call her? I have a particular name that I call her. Anyway, like Helena Sassani. And so she is the channel from Belgium who has aspects of her that she can tune into who are Asani or some other race as well. So she channels through. The last 2 interviews we did, it might be 3 actually, are so freaking good. But she always is, she's such a higher being that I feel like a small child when I'm around her. Right? She really is a higher being. How did he access that? He's just got that authority. If you truly knew who Sean Bond was, you would never doubt him. Yep. Yeah, so you need to check out the videos I've done with Sean Bond. So he's coming to Bases 2026 in 2 weeks' time or so. Sean Bond, 2.5 weeks, Sean Bond is coming over, and he's going to be presenting about his long skulls and all that kind of work that he's doing. But hopefully we'll all get an activation in person with Sean Bond and Isha there. It's going to be so good. But yeah, he has extremely high authority, probably the highest I've ever experienced. So I know, yeah, Sean Bond helped with it, because I know that when I do live videos with Sean Bond, that I can access things that I wouldn't feel safe to do with anybody else. He's the only person that I like to remote view with. So we do map videos. So I do personal sessions when I do everything I've put out about Sean Bond is a personal session that I've paid for. But I do, because I'm doing it live as an educational resource is how we do it. I only pay him a set amount, so I've done a deal. So that kind of option is available. If you want to do that with Sean, just have a chat with him. How did I find him? Through Typical Skeptic podcast. Yeah. And I was just drawn to him. And then I asked him after my first session, how do we know each other? And he said Atlantis. So I consider him to be soul family. I do. So when people say to me, you shouldn't be working with Sean Bond, literally, like, I've known this guy for 50,000 years or more. So yeah, so I'm not going to not work with him. He is he's a very good mentor. He's a very good sacred space holder. And I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. And when you go to his website, psionicleague.com, and you look at the prices and you think, damn, that's a lot of money. But I actually do a deal with him. And that's why my private sessions, we do it public. Yeah, so that because we're both teachers. So we do it public. We put it out there for everybody to experience, to follow along with us. Yeah. And yeah, Rob is integral. He doesn't realize that. So there's quite a few videos on my Anchorhaven Origins playlist. I think Sean Bonders might have his own playlist. I'm not sure. I need to check that. But these are all personal sessions that I've done. So I'm talking about my experiences. So I memory mine. So I get things coming in and then I will document it. I'll drill it down. Then I take it to Sean Bond and I'll say, this is what I've got. Can we have a look at the map? Can we do a vision quest? Yeah, so the vision quests are long, 2 to 3 hours long. And if you are looking to do that kind of work, if you want to expand your quantum measure, so much targeting on this right now. If you, 1 second. No, let me do that. But as I talk about him, it's like a memory vault is trying to open, and it's like they're trying to stop the memory vault opening. So I do 2 types of sessions with Sean Bond. I do map work. So we will literally get up a map and do grid work of sorts where we're tracking and tracing my clones. Right, there's a couple of videos like that, and then we're looking where my clones are, and then we're going deeper and we're looking at the deep underground military base where my clones are located. He also looks at the targeting that's coming at me, and he will track and trace that targeting to locations on the planet, and he will just strip them. He strips them of their powers and he gives them to me, right? Stuff like that. So that's how I got Scorpion. Well, so he tracked down who was targeting me. It was a handler. It's so much targeting coming out. It's high frequencies. It was a handler in Long Island who was using a Scorpion entity against its will to target me. So the handler got stripped of their psionics and he awarded them to me. This is how high his authority is. He just took them from that person and gave them to Anchorhaven. That was his command, right? And then he tuned into the Scorpion, who I call Scorch, and he literally took them out of that location and gave them to me. Then the Scorpion nestled into my back like a baby. Right, it was a baby. That's what they were using against its own will. They had a family of scorpions, and the baby was being used to target me and clamp my arms and send fire venom through my bones. This is from the Erin Elizabeth interview. So I literally felt the scorpion baby nestling into my back, and he literally said, come with us. You know, Anchorhaven will take good care of you. Come with us. So the scorpion baby entity, the energy, nestled into my back for about 6 weeks, and it started to grow bigger and bigger. And from now, every now and then, I can feel the scorpion on me, right? I got this tattoo done to honor the scorpion energy, to honor our partnership, and so that if it wanted to reside in that point on my arm, it could do that, right? And also because I didn't have any tattoos on this arm, and this arm got fried so bad, whereas this arm has a galactic shield on it. This is a galactic shield. It's called the Syrian seal. Yeah, this is the Unalom representing my life's journey. This is a Syrian shield. Yeah, the Syrian seal by Patricia Corey. So this protected me. It uses the water energy in my body to create a galactic shield around me. Okay, just so you guys know, that's the Syrian seal. And it activated. So this arm was hurt, but it wasn't fried. This was fried. Like if you could have seen it, it was like a brown, black dead arm, right? So he takes this scorpion entity, he gives it to me, and I nurtured it for 6 weeks, told it how much I loved it and how I would love to work with it and, you know, be my friend and that kind of thing. But because I connected with the scorpion energy, I now have an energetic scorpion tail that I can activate. So pow pow. And but the scorpion, like every now and then, I can feel it on my body in a different place. Right now, she's here. She's right there. I can use Scorpion. I can send that out to people for protection. I can send Scorpion out to people to basically climb up their body and to like attack or to neutralize unwanted energy or whatever. So yeah, it's quite an interesting thing to have, and it's not really an attachment, it's a partnership. We work together, pow pow. And yeah, so yeah, it is wild. So he helped me with that, and for him it's nothing, because he's been through all those trials and tribulations, right? So he's got to that point where he's activating his soul energy, and he is high up there. That's all I can say, because I don't know. He doesn't talk about it, so I can't talk about it. So I have a tribal scorpion inside a sun on my right arm. Nice, Herb. Nice, yeah. And when I was at bases with Drago, he was wearing a top, a jumper, and it's Scorpion, because his favourite band is the Scorpions. So I'm sitting there with my Scorpion, and he's sitting there wearing a Scorpion. We're like so in sync, opposite each other. It's so cool. Yeah, we fucking who? Sean Bond, yeah. So I have my own experiences with him and how he's added value to my life and how he's helped me. And that's why I will always advocate for Sean Bond. I will, until something happens, but it's not going to change the experiences I've had. If anything happens, I don't know. But I've had real world life-changing experiences. I have a lot of respect for Sean Bond at Sonic League. I do. And we're not amazingly good friends or anything. We work together for private sessions and we put them out there so you guys can see. But do I love him? Yeah, I love him. He's soul family. So I do talk about him quite a lot because he's helped me tons. And if I hadn't have had that session in February 2025, I don't know if I'd be the Anchorhaven I am right now. I don't know if I would have ever connected with Drago and got part of myself back. I don't know. And don't forget, Anchorhaven is actually my code name in the program. So it's not just a spiritual aspect of me. It's literally like a soldier aspect of me is Anchorhaven, right? Anchorhaven's an altar. Yeah, the same for Wizard Wickus. Yeah, so we've had a lot of value come out of connecting with Sean Bond, but just know that he does have a sliding scale, and he can do deals to help you, but he does need money to live on. So I know some people say, oh, he's always talking about how much do they donate or whatever, but it's because he's trying to be fair. And he's very neutral. He really is a neutral person. I'm so looking forward to connecting with him and Isha, who's just a beautiful goddess. I can't wait. In the next couple of weeks, it's going to be so cool. Yeah, but he's helped me a lot. He really has. So you can go to my Anchorhaven Origins playlist and just search for the videos for Sean Bond. Go to the one that's the oldest video, and that's that initial session when he's saying, oh, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, what? Sorry, did you just say clones? And I know the clone thing was true because I'd already seen a clone of me. But when he said, yeah, how many? What can I tell her? Okay, so he tells me 10,000, which wasn't the number. The number was 24 million. And that was confirmed by the ACIO. Yeah, so yeah, Heather's going to meet him too. Oh my God, he's so beautiful. He's just a beautiful human being. Yeah, I can't wait. And I imagine he's very tall. And me and Heather are really tiny. So it's gonna be us and it's gonna be Sean. I'm gonna get the picture. I can't wait. So there's a bit. If you go on my Instagram, there's this pinned picture of me with Drago Reed and Dr. Amir, and that's one of the most coolest pictures I've ever had taken. And Heather took that picture, I think. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the best pictures I've ever had done. It's like connecting to soul family right there. Oh, Wizard Breakfast says 2 years ago, I used to say I am an anchor point projector for the sacred timeline. That is so true. Get itchy nose now. When this happens, is I get spirit messages coming in. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, probably oversharing. I overshare. I have no filter. I have no boundaries. One of my friends says to me, just because you can talk about these things doesn't mean you should talk about these things. Have some boundaries. Okay, I'll have some boundaries. I have no boundaries. When I'm live, I'll just put it out there. So yeah, so we've got some great videos for me and Sean. So yeah, so we do the map work videos. I'm giving him a location, or he's tuning into versions of me. So last year we did a lot of clone tracking, and we actually started to collapse out the connection. So clones that were being used nefariously against their will, we neutralized them. We uncreated them, right? Because it wasn't healthy, it wasn't positive. So we uncreated the clones together, and we took it right back to before they were even a thing. we took back the soul essence. Yeah, I talk about everything too. Yeah, Mr. Rainbow, that's so cool. And so we did. So we began to reduce down the number of clone connections, and I started to take back my soul bite so I could be more whole. But bear in mind, when we talk about clones and alters, these are real people generally. So we were focusing on the ones that were being used as food, right? Off planet, they're being sold as currency. They were being used nefariously for experiments and stuff. So we uncreated those connections, which sounds a bit harsh, but when you go back and watch the video, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. And then we were tracking. So I am a tracker, a management system for me and Drago, because we've got the same DNA. So I can see where we are basically, and I'm getting better and better. I had a map open last year. I had this map just appear in my mind, and it showed the UK in the center, because that's how our maps look. When you look at your map, it'll have America in the center, right? So the UK, and I had all these arrows pointing out, locating where the clones were on the planet, everywhere, every continent, everywhere. So now I can literally connect in and think, okay, what's going on? I can tune into a country or a base and think, okay, how many versions of me are there? And I'll know. Right, so Sean has access to all that information as well. We look to the whole globe, we look everywhere, but he will never let me look at Chile, and he will never let me look at Washington DC, ever. Right, because the targeting is too high. We've looked briefly into 2 locations in Russia. So there's a great video, one of the last ones I did, where I located a base in Russia. Nobody else has ever spoken about that base. Yeah, Cuba. He won't let me look at Cuba. Yeah, Cuba's the one, not Chile. It's Cuba, isn't it? So so I located a base. He confirmed the base, and then the person in my memory also confirmed the location. So that's 3 confirmed, 3 confirmations on Norilsk. Nobody else had ever spoken about Norilsk, as far as I'm aware. I located that base from my own experiences. And I have a memory of a certain person who I can't talk about yet because they're not public in this connection. So I talked to them privately about it, but they confirmed, yes, that they were there with me, basically. So that's cool. So yes, we've looked into that. We've looked at loads of places. So I will give him the information, and he will tell me what he gets off that, and then we'll talk about it together, and he'll say what he's seeing and I'll say what I'm seeing. Yeah, but if he sees something nefarious, he'll just take care of it. He'll just cancel it out. And yeah, so I feel very safe working with him. So we do vision quests. So vision quests are long videos. So like when it's like an hour, then it's a map work video. Clone tracking, when it's like 2 to 3 hours, that's a long vision quest, and that's a deep process. For like an hour, we'll be just working on settling into my mind. Okay, then we start to think about, so we do a quest. The best one I think we did last time was with Zeus, and we all got upgrades. Everybody who watches that video gets an upgrade. You get a medal from Zeus. Yeah, it's so cool. And so you go through, there's like an hour when we're going on a side quest, and then we think about, okay, we're going to start to access the memory vault, which is literally at the back of my mind. I feel memories coming up and over. So then we think, because we're going to access the vault, we're trying to get to the vault, and honestly, my mind just throws so many things at me. And last time I got stabbed in the stomach etherically, and I was like literally feeling it. I was getting targeting on it, and he's just like, I know, I'm dealing with it. Like, right? And then Anubis stepped forward. Now, Anubis has 2 versions in my mind. There's a version that's linked into a companion that I was with in Russia, but there's a version that's linked into Montauk and ritual abuse. So, and that at that point in time, that's the only one I knew. And it comes forward, and I literally was like, no, I'm not dealing with that live on air. It was insane. And I literally just went, bam, right, and pushed it to the back. Where is he located? He lives in Mexico, but he's from East Coast, I think. Yeah. So it's quite heavy energy on this right now. Let's do the bell. Yeah, but I get very excited and animated about working with Sean Bond. I love working with his energy. He's super chill, super grounded. He's a very cool dude. Check out my videos. Yeah, check out my if in doubt, wax on, wax off. So yeah, so I've got a few videos with him that I've done. I've not watched him for quite a few months actually, and I did in April. I reached out to him and said it's time to do a vision quest, and then he didn't respond because he had lots of things going on in his life. And then when I recently, he said to me, "So what was that vision quest?" And I'm like, "Dude, I've already spent the money. I've already moved on like 1,000 miles an hour here." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I had this and that going on." And then I felt really bad. Then I was like, "Oh shit, sorry." And so yeah, we never know what's going on in people's lives, do we? The info is too good. An orb to zip past while ringing the bell. Yes, we welcome our positive orb guide team, our Arcturians and Terrans. Welcome, welcome. Palladians, whoever wants to be with us in a true love, light, like love. So yeah, so it's almost 8 a.m. So it's nearly 3 a.m. Eastern. I'm so sorry, guys. It's my Monday. It's your Sunday night. Have a great week, everybody. I've got Christy Campbell coming on today at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. She's got some new information to share about her memories, her experiences. So that's going to be good. If I can get her to pull some cards for us, I will. But just bear in mind that she goes very dark very fast. Yeah, so bear in mind. Blue Jardin says, "Thank you, Julia, and everyone for being here today and tonight. Let's make this a June to remember." Yes. Top of the head is what yes, love. So yeah, June energies are really good. Let me just get one last clarity card on June energies. Anything that we need to be aware of, please? Thank you. Okay, it's a Gaia Gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom, transmission, earth intelligence. So as we move forward into ease and grace, connecting into rainbow flame energies, there you go, connecting deep down into Mother Gaia and to everything that she wishes to provide for us. So we are well provided with shelter, with food, with knowledge. Yeah, so fantastic. Fantastic energies coming from Mother Gaia. So do connect into the planet, connect into Terra. Yeah, send her some love, connect into those rainbow flame energies. Okay, so have a fantastic day, everybody. This is going to be a great start to a great month. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we are going to say super grounded, super anchored this month. Okay, so take care, everyone. I'll speak to you later.